on the winds tonight as our bursting garden shoots intertwine. The creature comforts when we're cold, the cocoon to curling cuddle folds. When the creatures cover up our shoulders enveloped, we almost forget to breathe. The stones lay in flower beds, you arranged and rearranged them to fit. It's creative fingers green, like the perfect mother I've ever seen.
What's up, everybody? Nick Blazer here. Back with the Masters Grand Finals today between Geoff Hall and Mark Ferrin. Super excited for this matchup. We've got the cam of the room there. We saw him come in, check that out with Art of the tournament director. He likes to make everyone super comfortable, give them an idea where they're playing and everything. Yeah, so that's all taken care of. I believe we've got a 17-point match coming up. Yep, finally confirmed that. So nice long one, lots of backgammon. Pretty excited for that. And yeah, we got a whole bunch of money up top here too, so we can look over the prize distribution too. These players have played through a field of 91 players to be the final two left. Mark Ferrin, your only undefeated player at this point. And Geoff Hall made it through the second chance bracket. This will be a true finals, like just a one-game finals, so there isn't anything like Mark gets 2 lives for not having lost already. I think the path for Geoff is difficult enough. On the second chance side is the typical understanding. Plus, they give a little prize bonus to Mark for being the undefeated finalist too, to give up that life basically. But yeah, if we take a look at that, up top we have the winner of this match will take home almost 13,500 pounds, and the runner-up is going home with at least 6,000. So I guess you can think of that as they're playing for 7,000 something up top. That doesn't include if there's any sort of side pools that they do. I'm not sure about that, so there could be other things going on there. And Mark already took something small home for winning the undefeated finals, so he has a little bit better on both of these numbers. Geoff playing for exactly what you see here. With the total prize pool of 33,000, I think there was 6,000 added to this event, 6,000 pounds. So quite a bit there. Someone can do the math on the conversion of the pounds too. I think that's a lot of dollars over here. It's a pretty good number, I'm sure. But yeah, it's exciting stuff. We'll see how they deal with that pressure of playing for higher money now. This is quite a bit of difference. Like I mentioned, maybe the undefeated finals actually has the biggest swing on it here, since we saw the loser of that, Mark Ferrin, taking out Rafael Rosalba. I think you can go watch that. I think I commentated that match. I can't even remember now. But you can go back to the YouTube channel and see everything that got us here too, right? But yeah, that match had a huge swing on it, because it's possible. I mean, one player is going directly to this situation here where they've pocketed, I think, over 1,000 pounds and they're playing for 6 or 13. The other player pockets like less than that, and they might not get, like, if they lose in the quarterfinals of the second chance bracket, I think the payouts were significantly less than that. So they could, pretty big swing on that match. Maybe it's almost as much as this 7,000 swing between finalist and winner in equity or something like that. So yeah, high stakes matches going on, and you never know how people are going to show up to play for that. We've seen some good backgammon from both the players here so far. I think both like pretty solid open level guys. I don't think they're not like the BMAB top of the PR like world beaters or anything like this, but they both have played very well. I've seen like a little bit of stylistic tendencies, but not too much. And I'm always impressed with like everyone seems to have some area of the checker play that they're just like really in tune with. And I've been finding that with both these players, finding plays that maybe I wouldn't have considered. So it's nice when I don't know. Whenever I watch backgammon, I learn something. But yeah, let's take a look at the brackets here too. I'm going to switch over to this scene so we can take a look at it too. Check over my bracket here. So yeah, Mark Ferrin's ride here we can see on screen. He's the highlighted one playing knocked out in the first round Fernando Bracconi, which you might recognize from the Monte Carlo World Championships this year. He had a good run, very strong Italian player. Not sure I know the rest of these along the way or a lot of the names, but it looks like he had to go through a path, didn't get a bye in the first round, and went through a path of 7 wins to get to the undefeated finals. And so we saw some of these matches streamed. I think without commentary, we saw him edge out Volker Sonnabend. I can't remember which ones I commentated over here too, but we've definitely seen Vincent Dinardi on stream as well. And then in the actual finals of the undefeated bracket, we had him take out Rafael Rosalba. And Geoff Hall's path was a little bit more interesting. So no hiccups for Mark there, Geoff Hall didn't get a bye either and lost in the first round and went straight to the second chance bracket. Not a good start for your tournament. But it looks like, so even though from the first round, Mark Ferrin had to win 7 matches to get to the finals, it looks like after playing that one match, Geoff Hall won this match here, and then this is represented in the second bracket too. But it looks like his path was 7 matches total to get to the champion of the second chance side too. So my understanding was always that that you had to win a lot more matches on the second chance side, but maybe that's wrong. I'm not sure why exactly that is, or if he got some sort of bye where he dropped in the back bracket or what there. But yeah, so some notable names that he knocked out along the way too. Mislav Kovacic, always, favorite to make it deep into these tournaments. Eva Ziskova, Zizi's mom. We've got knocking out Gary Owen, or Gaz Owen. Gary Owen, sorry. Yeah, he's been running deep in a lot of tournaments there, but couldn't edge it out. We streamed against Anna Parker and against Francisco Dominguez too. So you can catch up on his run to the finals here too, or at least the later stages of it. But there you go. We have him over here as the champion of the second chance bracket too. And that was their path through the field of 90 players. A lot of big names in there that couldn't make it through to the end. Yeah, I mean, tons of exciting backgammon going on this weekend too. Always fun to see how that shakes out, and really, anyone can win it there too. We had some, we see some top players making it deep in there too, and some relatively unknown ones as well. I think it was a cool second chance finals too. We had a player from Portugal that I haven't seen on stream get in there too. And battle it out, and gave Geoff a run for his money. But yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty well-matched finals here between Mark Ferrin and Geoff Hall. I don't know their play overall to be certain of that, but it sure looks like they have pretty, both pretty solid players, right? I don't know, seems like they've both been playing a while and all this stuff, and from what I've seen, I think it's going to be a good matchup, Oh, cool. I see someone in chat saying the equivalent in dollars is 16,000 for that 13. Oh, I thought it might be closer to 2x, but okay. Good to know. More than the regular dollars though. So there's that at least. Yeah. But yeah, so I think it looks like no one's in the room yet, but we should be started over in my time in about 3 minutes. I've got you guys on delay, so we'll probably get started a little bit later than the 8 a.m. my time and 1500 or 3 p.m. in Gibraltar start time. But we'll get going soon here, real soon. I don't think there's any other backstory stuff to share there that I wanted to catch everyone up on. Looks like it's been a really nice ARTA tournament there. I think the intermediate finals are going on somewhere else. I think at the same time, though. Man, it would be cool if we got to stream those more often. But Marianne has made it to the finals in that. I know the Norwegian what do I want to say, club or federation member or something. I don't know. She's always been really helpful with my books and things like that and getting me around. I appreciate her a lot. Good friend at the tournament. So excited to see her running deep. Always, I guess like Dogfin Snarheim's partner, if you like have seen him playing and stuff. So yeah. I wish I got to see that one and see what she's got in the finals there. Don't know her opponent exactly, but happy to see her running deep too. Lots of exciting stuff going on at the tournament. I didn't see who's in the finals of the is it Law Gammon, I guess we're gonna call it. I think so. You got to be careful with like United States people though, because it looks like LA Gammon. But yeah, Lila Leonhardt's variant on a back game oriented game, so you can see that starting position, and seems like they had close to 50 players enter that. Lots of fun stuff going on out in Gibraltar. It seems like a really successful tournament on the boat this year at the new location, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I wish I knew exactly who made this board too. I would tell you guys about that if I could. Oh, good. There we go. Made the picture look a little nicer there too. What do we got going on over here? But yeah, the board skin I've got, I can show you that too over on the commentary screen. So Rain Backgammon, you saw in the ads there, helped with that and sent it. Doesn't match exactly the finals board, but looks pretty nice still with the checkers they've got. Oh, I've got to switch the colors around. They set it up different than I expected. We can handle that real quick. But yeah, thank you so much to him. If you haven't, should I stay or should I go? Oh yeah, very good. Okay. No copying songs though. You got to come up with like new names, I think. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Rain Backgammon. If you want to be able to practice an XG with a board skin that looks like the board that you play on, that actually matches the checkers you use, things like that, he can set that up for you. It's really cool stuff. He always, you see on the tournament streams, whenever we have a board skin that looks just like the board they're playing on, that's who's taking care of that. So yeah, if you want a more fun, just like something that looks nicer for your study experience, you can reach out to him and get custom skins done there too. Super cool stuff. Of course, all the sponsors are listed on the screen there too, that helped make this tournament what it is. So we can get them a little bigger there too. So much appreciation to them. And yeah, you can hop over to my YouTube channel and subscribe there to help me out. I've got a whole bunch of backgammon content if you haven't checked it out yet. So I do like position analysis and interviews with people, and lots of play and explains where I like play matches or money sessions and talk about my thought process. The occasional live commentary or stream or something like that too. But yeah, lots of fun stuff out there. You can go jump to artist tournaments too. He's got a lot of them coming up this year, always with the added money and the really nice play experience. And I don't know, he makes everyone feel at home. If you're going to a first tournament, I recommend one of his for sure. But yeah, I'm super excited for this matchup. I think we'll give the players a little bit more time to get back to the room. And for now, I'll just set it over to the break screen again. And we'll be back with the match start shortly. Excited, everyone. Thanks for joining.
us when we're cold. The cocoon to curling cuddle folds. When the creases cover up our shoulders enveloped, we almost forget to breathe. Laying flower beds, you arranged and rearranged them to fit. It's creative finger
All right, guys. It looks like everyone's taking their seat at the table and getting ready to go here. Sorry for the delays in there. Of course, I don't know. They take our time to make sure that the finals is going to be as nice as it can be. So if it's a little bit late, it's a little bit late. Player comfort and everything is just way more important, you know? Maybe they had to go find and print off that U.S. flag for Mark. That's probably what took all the time there. I think. But there's your director, Arda. I love the U.S. and U.K. flags there, too. That's really nice. Such a nice touch. He loves to have the flags in there to represent like what an international event these are. But yeah, we're going to get started with the 17-point match shortly here. Geoff Hall from the UK. Mark Ferrin from the US. I don't think I've met or spoken much with Geoff out at tournaments, but Mark's someone that I knew. Talked about playing in the Austin clubs like right after I left there. But yeah, both really solid players. Excited, seem like really nice guys. Excited to see what they got to, but we got to get all the photo ops. All these beautiful pictures with our tournament director shaking hands and such. Arda bumping the board cam. I think we're okay, though. But we're about to get started. This is it. The end of the Gibraltar Championships. The finals, the grand finals of the Masters Division, 91 players. These are the only two left. Mark Ferrin, the only undefeated player remaining. Geoff Hall made it through the second chance bracket to be here as well. And they're playing for quite a bit up top as they do these photo ops. Just a reminder, £13,500 for the winner, £6,000 for the runner-up. May have won something. Mark Ferrin took home a little bit for the undefeated bracket there too. But that's what's at stake in this match. So, yeah, both players are going to want to win quite a bit. Excited to see what they can do. This is beautiful too. I should have mentioned, if the player room looks a little bit different, it's because Arda does this pretty consistently for his tournaments, where he like rents out a suite, or I don't know exactly how he does it, but he has some room dedicated to the finals, and then they reset the streaming stuff up so they're not in the playroom with everyone bothering them. They're up in their own room here. You can kind of get that feel with a nice view on a higher floor and everything like that. And it should be like a really relaxed way to play the finals out, which I think is super cool. Do the players have a problem? Yeah, each other. Not letting them win the match. I don't think so. No, it always just takes a while to get started. It's rare that it starts right on time there. While they organize this new room to play in and they get all the people involved that they need. I think both players typically get to bring someone to the room to spectate with them too. They can take matches or, breaks as needed too. But it's nice up here, you know. They have like their own refreshments up in the suite and just a way more relaxed play environment for the finals. So, yeah, I mean, you get treated like a star if you make it this deep, which is really cool, I think. We have Arda explaining any of the rules or anything about breaks, making sure there's no questions about it before we get going, too. He takes care of people. Appreciate that guy a bunch. I don't think the photographers will hang out through the whole match. We'll see. We got some flashes going off and stuff. Will they get some more photo opportunities? That banner is really nice looking in the background, too. Asking in the chat, Geoff does not need to win twice. This is a true finals. The winner will take home the prize. Even though Geoff has lost once and Mark is still undefeated, we seem to be like trending towards these true finals kinds of setup instead, where you just play one match. Mark got a bonus payout for being the undefeated winner already. And typically, I think you have to win more matches to make it through the second chance. But as I showed in the brackets while I was going through in the intro, I think they both won 7 matches to get here. But Geoff did have to play an additional 8th match, that he lost in the first round. So actually went to the second chance side of things very early on, very efficiently, which means a lot less match points to play. So he should be coming pretty fresh too. But he has had to play at least, I think, 3 matches yesterday to get here as well, where Mark only had to play 1 in the morning and got to relax for the rest of the day. So I think you can make plenty of arguments for why Mark has plenty of advantage here and doesn't need a whole extra life to go through as well. And it's a much nicer like streaming experience too. It's more fun to know that this is the finals and is going to decide it, rather than like this could be it or maybe not. Maybe there'll be another match that matters afterward. Gets to be a long final stream. Dimitri betting on Ferrin. Maybe. I don't know enough about it. I mean, from the matches I saw, maybe the PR was a little lower. I think he's a very strong player, but I mean, Geoff not doing too bad either. I think it should be a fair matchup, I'm not looking to lay any bets, though, so your action's not here, Dimitri. Sorry. Hopefully someone in chat can help you out, though. All right, here we go. And the match begins. They're rolling the dice, and we've got 3-6 to open for Mark, playing the white checkers on top. And 1-1 is going to hit, make the 5 point, and then make the bar point as well, with the checkers still back on the 24. Nice play by Geoff, of course. Our 3-4 is going to anchor up at the edge. Very nice response for Mark. And now Geoff under some pressure to get the back checkers moving. Maybe with this roll, it's better to cover the 8 and make the prime. But we can see it's actually kind of a close idea. Once your opponent has an anchor, you really need one yourself. 3-2, okay. So Mark's going to bring ammunition down to threaten that split from Geoff when it comes. Yeah, I agree, Mrs. Bubbles, about artist tournaments. Oh, he should not walk in front of the player cam, though. This 2-1. Okay, he's going to split, I think, just all the way up to the 21 seems reasonable to me. I don't know why we want another blot involved. And it's a very nice place for an anchor, but okay, they all run very close. Yeah, I guess we do face the 10 points, which is a little bit of a problem. I wasn't thinking it that way. I was thinking of the blot on the 11. 5-2, beautiful shot for Mark. He's going to hop out and run. And if he gets hit, though, he's outboarded. Oh, he's not supposed to hit there. Very interesting. He can just play down in prime. That's strange. I'm not sure I would find that play, but okay, so no hit available. I mean, unless we're going to break our prime to go for it. So, but we do get to make the best anchor. So nice response for Geoff there, I think. 3-1. Oh, interesting. It can link up 14 to 11, but then there's no good ace. So is there anything better? We can just clean up 14, 13, 11 to 8 and play our racing game plan. When we're outboarded and primed and have more checkers back, that seems like the idea here. Yep, and that's the play that Mark's going to find as well. Good morning, everybody watching. 1-5. Oh, it was cocked apparently. I don't know what happened there. 1-6. I guess it's just going to bring ammunition in the zone, but struggling to be able to turn this into an attack and take the checker off the edge of the prime. Would love a deuce to do that. Interesting 13-6 play. I don't know what that is. I would find his shuffling play to have more diversification too. 5-1 is going to try to make a bid for freedom for Mark with the racing lead, and we'll see if Geoff can prevent that for now. 3s and the long 10s get there. 5-1 not going to hit though, and we'll see if... I don't think Mark's going to be in cube territory with only a 12-pip lead and still some work to do to bring this home, but he's getting there. Clear advantage now. And I think Geoff with this roll should probably just start 2 points and prepare his board. I don't see anything else that has room to move. Oh, interesting. I would definitely play 8-3, 5-4 here. But the bot has some slightly different idea. Close enough. And let's see where Geoff is. Yeah. So Mark with advantage, but not enough to cube yet. Not a big racing lead. Still definitely contact to bring this home. The 5-2 can play safe, but it has to create another stack of 5. So the position looking a little bit stiff. I don't think it's better to play to continue on 8-6. But, oh, it is. Okay. Oh, yeah. We keep our spares around. I see. Of course. Yeah, nice find there. 5-5 is going to release the midpoint, it looks like. And now we have a relatively even race. And Geoff really needing to get that goalkeeper moving now that he's out of time. Yeah, he looks at the first 2 first. I like this. But it looks too stacky and deep to continue playing and not give up the midpoint. So I would just come down and make it and count on my back checker contact here. Nice. Square shakes taking the bet on his countryman. Oh, nice. Terrier. Lots of people have stats on these players, I think, huh? Enjoy it. Doing the research. Maybe I should have been on BMAB checking this out. My bad. Sweet. Sounds like we got some gambling on this match. Exciting. I do think I've seen Geoff have a tendency to keep the contact. I can't remember if it was him or his opponent, but I remember this coming up. Okay, he's going to release. Looks good here. But, I mean, I've seen a lot of players do this. Maybe it was Francisco against him that struggled to release it. I can't remember. But nice play by him. 3-2 is going to quietly unstack the mid a little bit further, I do believe. What else do we have? And, yeah, this is not a super nice position for Mark. Barely even ahead in the race and definitely losing on the contact. It's entirely possible that Geoff could be a favorite here, and he's just going to keep rolling his structure home. That seems reasonable. But again, looking for some opportunity to get the back checkers moving too, now that the race is much closer. This can make the 9 point for Mark, another landing point home, and it's going to give up just 2-6 and 6-6. 6-1 can't hit. Is there... I don't think we need to start thinking about our back checkers necessarily, but we're kind of getting there where we need to start shuffling them. Yeah, it's getting close. He wants to make sure that he doesn't crack for sure before he gets something freed up. 6-3 looks like it cannot play entirely safe. So what is the best of it? Maybe... Well, there's a 1 blot play in making the 7 and we keep a 4 prime. That looks kind of nice. Or we could think about making a board point like 9-3, 6-3, but then it's 2 blots. But at least we've unstacked the 6 a little bit. Maybe that's a little more flexible. I'm probably thinking about just reducing shots and blots here the best I can and making the 7 point, but I'm not sure. This is a tricky one. Oh, we can reduce blots further, or shots further, by slotting the deuce point. Okay. So yeah, it's really, XG is just in pure minimization mode. I feel like this is the human play to make the bar point. But, oh wow, Mark finds this too. That's well calculated there. Nice work from him. Good tactics for sure. And we have a 3-2 we miss. And so not much for Geoff to do, but slot the ace there. I like that play. Just waiting. And at some point he might get to just leave his anchor and play like a split contact kind of game with how strong his board is and how weak Mark's is. Okay, just like covering from the rear seems strong for Mark. Nice improving and progressing roll. Small race lead. 4-2 I think is just gonna make the board, but yeah, do we have to start? Yeah, we're too early to come off the anchor yet, but it's tempting. You know, the diversification is very nice there. And Geoff's big decision is going to be whether to leave the 20-point anchor or the 24-point contact here. With a close race, I guess he should be happy to leave the goalkeeper and count on that and not get blitzed off the board. I like this 2-1 clearing play for Mark. Looks good. So 6-2. What can this do? It can't run entirely without cracking, you know, so maybe this is the kind of roll where you should just run 20-12 and see what happens. We could make the 18 point, but then we risk being attacked on the 20, and we give up a lot more contact. This is tricky. I mean, I knew I was coming here. I'm not sure what to do. It's possible that he could play 24-18 and break his board too, and just make sure that he stays in the race. It feels so strange to give up that giant board advantage, but this might be that kind of exception where the race is so close that we don't want to risk being attacked. You know, Mark's only game plan in these like huge jokers, so maybe that's okay. But okay, the double falcon is a play. Yeah. So this 24-18 6-4 might be something that I would get tricked into as well. This is a very difficult one, and I didn't really look over this bot's preferred play here either. So I think that's a difficult one to find. And is it Mark thinking about the cube now? I can't decide or see which side the clock's on. Yeah, it does look that way. And yeah, not enough to send it quite yet. But yeah, okay. So 6 in, 4 in. Nice roll for Mark. Nice racing advantage. Wise him to pause and think about it for sure. And so the play has gone the way that Geoff was hoping, I think, where he's just trying to liberate that 24-point checker, get that around, try to cover the 19, and count on the race to be good enough. 4-1 cannot clear a point, so I think it's just going to make the 3. And the racing lead, not that great. It's got work to do for sure. Double 4s would catch up in the race quite well, but it can't get escape from the 20, so maybe the double falcon play was looking a lot better in this variation. He's going to be stuck breaking some points, it looks like. But if he can escape, I mean, his board is still technically better, so he's not too worried about the contact. Mark getting to clear the 9 here, I think, is going to help with that. Now his 4-point board's a little bit better. It's a little scary to run, very even race. But still, I think that's the plan for Geoff now, is just to zoom off this. Both playing pretty sharp so far. 4 or 5 can double falcon out of there, yep, and not leave any attacking numbers. Good shot for Geoff. I don't know if it counts as a double falcon. Ooh, 6s to come back though. Mark gonna take this game back over. Could lose the game on like a 2-1 here or something for Geoff. If he rolls well enough though, he'll still be in it. This could be a close take pass kind of decision. The race is probably, oh yeah, we can see from, okay, it's not actually close. Interesting. Why? Because he has 2 checkers off and there's so much wastage, and yeah, it's 8 pips in a short race. Okay. So for sure, Mark's going to find this cube, and then I think Geoff will be able to find a pass here as well. Double 6s do tend to take over the race and win the games in close ones like that, so instinct should be that the game is lost. And yeah, Geoff finds a pass, and we start off with a 1-point win for Mark to start the match. Both playing that game pretty clean. Oh, right. Except I must not have done the analysis on the one where you're supposed to run with the 6-2. Yeah, they're on different levels. There we go. That'll make his PR right. Pretty sharp, though. Yeah, don't trust the results here. Sometimes when I plus things, it messes up the PR. And of course, the PR, not the most important part anyway, just trying to get feedback on plays. I actually had that cut off in the first day and put it back up because people asked about it, or someone asked about it. I'm never sure about that, you know? I mean, it's not a PR based competition, so I don't want to like highlight that too much and just want to talk about how they're playing and the kinds of decisions there. But I don't know. I know a lot of people are interested in overall what it looks like for a match, especially when people play really well. We like to see it. Like to see the inhuman PRs and things like that. Okay, 4-1 split, 6-5 run. Pretty standard stuff so far. This looks like it can make the 4 and cover the 9. Interesting. Yeah, a little bit different. Double 2 start. Nice priming structure for Geoff. Maybe slightly down in the race. Mark gets to make sort of an attacking point with that as well. And so game plan starting to solidify. Pretty sure the anchor is going to be better in front of the point here. And not having to... We get the anchor and the 9 point. Where otherwise we get the offensive point. And we anchor in front of our opponent's made point here too. So, yeah. Somewhat close there. Reasonable to go the offensive route. It is quite often that the offensive one is just better for threatening. Plays a bit of defensive role too. A good offense is a good defense, right? Yeah. Not much else than just 13-8 there with the racing lead and outboarded, no anchor, all these kinds of things. Like the play. 6-4 doesn't really do what we wanted, but I guess it can make the deuce point. It's starting to play 2 game plans at once though. Like the priming structure is now turned into an attacking structure at the same time. Not what he's looking for, but for lack of options. 6-3 is just going to try to run. Is that the best he can do? It seems a little strange to run to what is basically a losing race here. Yeah, and so it's a little bit better to just go 13-4, but it's very close. You know, it feels like a natural play to try to escape the attack and everything and just find freedom and compete against the anchor instead. Those can be... Okay, double 6s, though, gonna cash this game for Geoff pretty much, because now Mark having left the back, maybe he wasn't going to be able to play it anyway, but now he doesn't even have contact in a basically lost race. So he's going to come around the bend and not get gammon, not leave it too good, and 15 pips is going to be too much to play. Not by too much, relatively close. And this early in the game, they probably will both need a little bit of time to count the race and figure that out for certain. We have the benefit of seeing that pip count right on the screen there with the XG transcription. Helps out a lot. There comes the cube. And we'll see if Mark can calculate this pass or not. Not a huge drop in equity if he chooses to play it instead, but gets it right, and both of them playing pretty sharp again in that game. Cool, we broke 100 in concurrent viewers. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining. Tie game, 16 away, 16 away. Nice patient start. Looks like they're taking a small break between games for some reason. Oh, bringing them score sheets apparently too to keep track. Okay. There we go. Such high quality service in the room there. They can just call me if they want to know what the score is. I'm keeping track of it here. That can be a nice thing about having like a transcriber on site or something. You can, yeah, and like the commentary there too. Just to have like match oversight or something in these finals too. Prefer not to have to deal with like any scoring errors or, you know, misplays or forgetting what the start position was. I think a lot of players would much prefer to just ask for help with that. 3-1 for Geoff is going to start with a point. 3-4 is going to split for Mark. And we're going from there. Small advantage for Geoff. Threatening to attack on the edge. 3-2 is going to try and probably bring a checker into the zone with it. Reasonable to split after hitting as well. Continuing the ace, just only 8 in the zone. You'd rather keep your pure structure. Wow, and a fan. I think we're going to have a cube already here. These tend to be fans on the 2-point board threatening to make the 3-point board. He's just like a full 2 rolls and 2 steps ahead. And like it's very difficult to play this out. This early in the game, I think Mark's instinct should be like there's enough time to play it out. But very close to the borderline, he's going to let it go. Not a bad decision there. Very close, almost like pick him for him. Optional take, but yeah. Well, okay. Another quick point for Geoff on the board. Hmm. 15 away, 16 away. Oh, they should put that on the scoreboard too. You guys know it. Hopefully they don't get confused by that later. 6-3 splits, okay. There we go. Thanks, guys. 5-2. After the split, we like to tempo hit on the ace and split with that. Makes it less likely that our opponent can jump out and anchor on the bar. Reduces it to the 6-7s that do that instead of the 17-6 shots. Deuce is going to enter and make a point, and what's the last bit of it going to be? Maybe just get off 6s by playing 18-16 seems nice. This is a common early game theme that the board doesn't tend to have a whole lot of good 6s to play on it when you begin. So when you come out to the bar point, you create those good 6s, and it's nice to get off that at your earliest opportunity. 2-1. Can't do a whole lot for Geoff, and blots everywhere. Maybe it should just anchor and slot for lack of options. It looks like at least, you know, if we're hit, we've got some defense there too. Oh yeah, thanks for asking folks to hit the like button there. Oh, interesting that it's an option to slot the bar point too. Okay, both seem fine. 6-5 is going to miss the shots. It can make the 10. We don't love to have the 10. It's not really interacting with our structure all that well, but I guess why not link up blots? And then the 5, should we come out to the bar or just play down and bring ammunition in the zone? Maybe with the race lead and all the blots behind, it's a nice opportunity to hop out. We're going to create 6s that hit and cover for sure, but either way we'll have some sort of blot, unless it's a 6-4. Not 100% certain on that one, but... Oh, interesting. You can just go for full distribution. Ah, look at this. With 2 blots on board, he should just go for it all. And just like leave distribution everywhere instead of making this sort of awkward 10-point. I like that a lot. That's a difficult heads-up play to find. Once we have the ace point blot there, I think we prefer to cover it with the 5. But, oh yeah, with the 4 we could have done. But he's going to play in and just try to make pure points instead. Okay. Slightly down in the race. Mark threatening to escape to freedom. And we'll still have some work to do before he has a cube against his 22-point anchor, most likely. But off to an early advantage. Geoff's 3-point board is quite ready. 6-4 can make the bar point. I think hoping to make the 5-point ideally, but this is a very nice second best. And now the position is looking pretty strong. The 10 pips isn't enough in a true race, but he's got his opponent primed as well and should rates to have an easy ride home. If he makes the 5 prime and making the 5-point, that could be enough to lose his market too. So I think we must be creeping up on the borderline of a cube here. And yeah, we do have a small one for that market loss incoming. Geoff still with an easy take for contact here though, and could roll 6s or escape to a decent race too. So plenty of play for him. And he does get the cube in. Well timed. All right. Those can be pretty tight technical decisions, and always impressed when people find those. Shows a certain level of like study and understanding of the game. 3-2. I think. What can this do? I don't know. It's going to shuffle checkers around. Sure. Start the next point seems fine. I was kind of thinking put him on the high points too, but all these must run super close. 5-4. Ooh, this one is awkward. We're going to have to play checkers behind or leave shots. And I think like the board's strong enough that we should not leave shots, but it's hard to bring this home and eventually make the 5 point after a roll like that. It's going to be a lot more work. Going to be a little bit of regret having sent the cube after a sequence like that. 3-4. This can clear the 10 points and reestablish a bunch of builders for the 5 point. Wasn't doing a lot of work for them anyway too. And 5-4 is going to... Does it have to release the midpoint? Yeah, I think that's the best thing that we can give up there. Double ones. Okay, so Mark is going to fill in that 5 point, take away a lot of that risk. And I think can just move the 12 a little bit closer. Why not? Give himself more options to come home safely. I'm not sure why he would want to get more front-loaded and kind of hurt his distribution that way. Probably double 5s is also going to play better. If he advances to the 12, his sets aren't like blocked by the point there. So I think advancing to the 12 is actually pretty strong here. Okay, not too big of a difference, but yeah, the tactics of it point us towards advancing 13 to 12 instead. Can you guys hear the child chaos in the background? My nephews are brushing their teeth. Which means running around and giggling. Alright, 6-1 is going to slot the next point. Yep. Looks good for Geoff. And well, it doesn't look good for Geoff. Looks good for Mark. Looks like a smooth ride home now. I think there's no reason to leave the fly shots because we might not have to. And so I think I would just make the deuce even though it throws checkers behind. But okay. It's better to go for distribution, and Mark knows this. Good find, Mark. But yeah, the fly shots hurt quite a bit, the 6-3, so I'm a little bit scared to leave that. But it does leave us pretty stiff on the outside. Okay, yep. Geoff just going to advance the checkers closer to home, getting ready to make his board point. And the race still okay for him. So if he can be patient and maybe run off it later, this can still work out for him. Four one is going to cover and enter. Okay. 5-6 is awkward. Can't clear the 8 like he hoped, and I think he has to dump 2 checkers to the ace now. And now he's got a real distribution liability. But racing lead's still great, so as long as he can clear safely, he'll be okay. And Geoff gets to run just at the perfect opportunity when the attacking threat isn't much at all. 6-4 gets to clear. So now with 2 checkers buried, he's really not afraid of being blitzed. He can stay back for the contact fairly comfortably here, especially with a blot behind now too. So I think he'll be just playing around from the 14. And we'll see if Mark can find a safe clearing roll. 4's up, look ugly. 5-2 should get out clearly or safely though. Okay. And Geoff probably will be able to wait one more roll for a 6-3, 6s, 5, something like this. But not going to be able to stay too long. So I think 8-2, 6-5 is fine for the contact here. Race is mostly dead. Otherwise, we might think about just spending the pips more efficiently. Not too far off here. And of course, not risking almost any gammons by staying, very unlikely scenario with everything else brought into the board. This seems like the right strategy for Geoff. See if Mark can dodge a couple disaster rolls to bring this home. 3-1 is going to postpone it at least. I don't think it's worth hitting here. Does it really gain us any gammons? Okay, he should go for it. Interesting. Maybe he could still lose the race to a set, and that's fine. I understand. Double 4s can play super safe and clear from the rear, or it could take 3 off and 1 from the 5. Probably safe is going to be a little bit better. Yeah. He finds that play easily. Okay. And somewhat hoping for Geoff to open with enter with the 6 and break contact. Yep. And he goes ahead, and this 35 pip lead in the race should be enough for Mark to claim 2 points in this game and take the lead in the match by a small margin. Both came ready to play sharp today, it seems like. Maybe he ran into some difficult positions along the way in previous matches I've seen, but they've both been playing really clean today so far. Patient, taking their time, thinking about decisions too. They both seem like they came into the match with very good composure. All right. Is Mark trying to make a bid for the gammon? I don't think it's possible here. 6-1 going to enter and take a checker off. Okay. 2 more off, and he can go ahead and claim this game. Yep. And Geoff will resign that 2 points. Still a lot of match to go. I like the pace that they get to play at too here. Seems like they get to take a little break between games, kind of no rush. Nice relaxed finals instead of like I guess a lot of times it seems like they go game to game very quickly, you know? I like that they're able to take little breaks here and kind of just move slowly through it. Relaxed backgammon is way more fun than comfortable backgammon. Way less stressful. They're rolling a lot of sets in the opening here too. I've noticed. Must be rigged or something, right? 3-1 makes the 5 point. Great start for Geoff again. And 2-2 is probably going to anchor against that structure instead of the standard 11 and 4. Yeah. Nice roll for Mark for sure to neutralize that early advantage. And with an anchor for Mark already, I think he needs to split somehow. Maybe he could go for the full major split. But yeah, 23 and 10 is fine as well. Very close. 6-5. Is this a butterfly anchor moment where he should just run around the bend? Leaves a lot of fly shots in the outfield. We have to leave shots no matter what if we don't. I'm tempted to just run off the anchor. Yeah, but he's going to go for the keeping it in the attack. So he's kind of still behind a prime with limited mobility, I think, is the issue with that play. The 2 is going to return fire from the roof. And to avoid leaving a bunch of shots from the bar, probably just hop out 24-18. Try to get working on an anchor there again. Moving along. I don't see any reason to get another blot involved with the lead in the race unless checkers back, all this stuff. So we're starting to differentiate into game plans here. 6-1 is going to enter and return fire on the bar. Being down in the race and more checkers back means that Mark's generally going to be in the mood to hit blots here. And Geoff's just trying to consolidate and work his way home. Hits from the roof again. So pretty clear advantage in checkers back now, but Mark has that anchor and good structure, so not too worried about the game yet. Oh, he can hit on the 15. That's probably worth it. It's nice to make the 5.2. I don't know, that could be something. But, okay. (3-2) can make the 23, which is a little bit primes, but at least it's an anchor and it hits. So I think we're going to go for it now. I don't think long-term the goal is to stay on that 23. So maybe gives a little bit of pause there. 3 enters, and things are getting stiff for both players, really. Mark needs to find some mobility for those 4 checkers on the 22. Too many bound up back there. And so if Geoff can make blocking points, he'll be doing really well. But this 3-2 is a great opportunity to get off the 23 and improve to the 18 with the racing lead he's got. So I think he's going to take that almost for certain. Oh, thanks for joining us, Bill. I got a pack for San Antonio soon, too. That's where I'm going next. 5-2 is blocked to get to the 15. So what can it do? I think we got to start to find pure plays somehow here. So maybe both off the 8 is going to be fine here. Not sure what else to do. He's just going to play to the ace. Okay. Fair enough. And yeah, his position is a lot weaker than it looks. He's got a misplaced checker deep. He's got 4 checkers on the 22. His mobility is so limited and Geoff's structure is so pure that I think pausing to think about this cube is pretty reasonable. And yeah, we're right on the edge of it here. These positional ones are some of the hardest for me to evaluate in backgammon, where we don't see any like super clear threats. We don't see, I don't know, it's not like we have a checker on the roof that's closed out or anything like that, but like if we can see the future of this game, we can see that like there's just a very solid advantage for Geoff. And it's hard to recognize just exactly how important those are. So the 4-2, I think, it would be nice to make the 4 point with the blot behind here. Maybe there's nothing better we can do. But we're doing such good work in blocking high numbers and fives with that 8 points that I don't know if we can afford to give it up. Maybe it's okay to play 13 to 9 to slot that and just clean up 10 to 8, or maybe we slot the 7, something like this. I don't know. But I think we just have to leave a shot and kind of keep all of our points in front right now. Yeah, and I guess because we're leaving checkers around no matter what, it's better to just make the 4. This is a difficult one. Nothing feels exactly like what you were thinking. And yeah, I don't fault him for kind of stacking up here. He doesn't want to leave a shot, so he's going to play a little bit too stiff. But I think, you know, the whole advantage and why we were thinking about a cube the last time was because we had such a strong, like, robust positional advantage, and we're giving that up some by playing this way. Mark is going to get a 3-2. Can't mobilize any 22-point checkers still, but does get to cover the ace. And so we've seen he's gotten a little bit more in this game as a result. The 1-4, probably best we can do with this is link up with the 18. We'd love to spend the ace 6 to 5 now that we've got that 5 stack there, but no good 4 with it after we do that. 4-3 is going to hop out to the bar at least, and then what's the best 3? I guess our opponent doesn't really have good 6s otherwise. The 3s and 1s are fine, so maybe we should continue. Slotting the 5 seems like a nice alternative too, though. Should be mostly tactics that decide between those two. Yeah, I think slotting the 5 is going to be fine here. Not too far off. 2-1, I doubt it's going to be worth hitting here for Geoff. We don't want to give up the 8 points, so probably I'm just playing 11 to 8 and staying quiet and challenging my opponent to get moving. But yeah, it seems like too much to have to give up the structure to hit, I guess. But he's going to go for that. Okay. And continue on into the 5. Yeah. I understand that one because our opponent was having so much trouble getting checkers off the 22 that you don't want to just let him get away with that now. But the 8 points a little bit too much to give up. And our checkers are just kind of misplaced on the 6 and 5 right now, having difficulty progressing. And I like that Mark's pausing, I think, to switch 8 to 5 here, which having the 4-point board seems quite valuable. I like this provocative play here. See if our aces are somewhat duplicated anyway. See if our opponent wants to hit from that anchor and leave a bunch of return shots. Ace 4, for example. I think this is going to point on head instead. So some nice duplication. But, I mean, Mark does need to enter to clean up that blot now. It would be painful to be out there still, I think. Maybe. Is he just going to play behind? Yeah, he's not ahead in the race, so I don't think he needs landing point. He could think about going for mobility and hopping out from the rear. But I think just hiding the blot is worth a little bit more against this strong 3-point board. Gotta respect the rack. They are quite close. All right, and what does Geoff have now with 4 checkers back? He doesn't have any landing points on the way home, so it's a little bit tough to play against this contact 2. 2s can solve a lot of that, though, I think. How are they going to do it? Do they want well, he's just going to point on head here. I thought he would do something with the checkers in the outfield. Interesting. But I guess, yeah, I guess maybe the nicest way to come home is just to have our opponent on the bar, Mark fans, and now we should have a pretty compelling cube with the gammon threat. And Mark's going to have a hell of a decision trying to decide if he should play this out with how long that Geoff has to go to bring this home. Oh, it's nearly too good, too. Okay, so it should be an easy pass. We'll see if Mark can find it. But this one would confuse me a little bit, because if we just enter, we have a good board, and our opponent still has 5 checkers to bring from the outfield home. So it seems like we should be able to win this quite a bit. Okay, nice pass by Mark there. And we're going to move on to, is this 14 away? 14 away now? Yeah, even scoreline again. Nice close match so far. No one jumping out to any big leads early in this match. Geoff forgetting to take his points on the scoreboard, though. That could come back to cost him. We'll see. 6-5 runs. 6-3 is going to split. Okay. Nice to have that outfield checker to contain that back blot that wants to run now. You prefer it on the 11. But on the 10, second best. Aces is a nice roll the 7 that split checker back, makes a nice priming structure to start. Ace-5 is going to enter and bring a checker down. And small advantage to start for Mark, having escaped the checker in a little bit better structure. But still work to do for sure. And Geoff with plenty of ways to improve his position to contain that back checker. 6s can't get the checker to safety. It's a little bit awkward. I think 3 are coming down from the mid for sure. And then maybe we just hop out to try to preserve our timing, since we'll still be ahead in the race even if we're hit. We distract our opponent from making a board point. I like this play. Looks very nice. Geoff is able to hit. Can't split or do anything about his back checkers with it. He reaches for it, wants to. So I don't know what the best 4 is. Stacking up 10 to 6 just seems way too stiff in this position. But our only other option is to slot or unstack somewhere. I'm not sure what to do with this. I think we do still have to hit, but maybe this means we should just make the 4 point. This is quite difficult. Yeah. And so he stacks up instead. It's not too far off. 3-6 is going to enter, and with the huge positional advantage now, Mark and racing lead, he misses a cube there. Cruises by 1. 2-4 can hit and make the bar points. I don't think there should be a cube after this, since he's got a little bit of structure now, but he is quite disconnected from his back structure. So definitely liabilities in this position. But I think the race is close enough now that Mark doesn't need to think about it. Oh, it's still a massive cube here. Very interesting. Lots of gammon threat there too. Okay, so Mark going to enter and cover. And Geoff in all sorts of trouble in this position. So now maybe like cleaning up and splitting into 12 checkers is tempting because we're so stuck back there. Making the 3 point seems just like too soft, you know. He does find the best play here, but he's supposed to pass after everything. And we'll see if Mark can find the cube now. I think he's going to see the threats after his opponent splits the back checkers, that he's got huge blitzing potential. And if he just rolls a 5 or a 6 and escapes, then he's got a really strong race against, like, at best, a holding game behind a 4 prime, right? So just dominating this game now. I think it'll be clear enough for him to find this time. But he misses some significant opportunities that are close to passes along the way, too. So this was the first cube. And then 1 roll later, he misses this opportunity as well. Position got a little bit better for Geoff, but not enough to keep the cube off. At least in theory world. So Mark going to spend some time on this. Not our typical cube situation. So understanding, Bill, how he can be a little bit lost on it. Not used to thinking about this. And we'll see what Geoff thinks. I've seen him occasionally take some pretty deep and optimistic cubes, I think, if I can remember from earlier matches. Maybe he feels like he still has game against the blot on the 21 if he hasn't decided to pass already. Maybe he thinks he's going to anchor a lot, but okay. Finds a wise decision in a pass. Small 1 point lead for Mark. Plenty of traps available in that position. I hope the players take actual breaks today at some point. That was a little bit rough last stream. Not getting to use the restroom ever. I don't know how they do it. They're drinking lots of water, so for sure they'll have to go to the bathroom before I do. Okay. I'm safe. We're good to go. Yeah, it gets a little bit cold in those rooms when there aren't like 1,000 players heating it up and things like that. So as things thin out. Typical playroom stuff. All right, a 4-2 to open for Mark. 1 point lead for him. 13 away, 14 away. So no score adjustment really happening yet in this game. 6-3 is going to split. And Mark with a small advantage to start. Threatening to hit on the bar point against a better board. Or with a better board. 6-5 can hit twice, I think. Even though we've already unstacked the 6, I mean, bringing the extra checker into the zone, I think, has more effect and makes us want to do that. 2-5 is going to enter 2, and I don't think there's enough pressure on this position to cube yet, but Mark in a scary, like, making scary threats for sure. 5-3, I think, can continue the blitz by breaking the 8 to hit loose and covering the ace. Looks like our plan. What else could we do, though? I guess we could just clean up and be ahead in the race. Maybe that's a reasonable plan, too, to just play down to the 8 and 7 to 4. Maybe there isn't so much risk to, like, go all in on this play. But, okay, yeah. So he does find the blitzing play. Seems like the instinctual thing to do. If he can dodge a 5 or a deuce, he's doing great. The 2-3 can hit. Okay, he's going to go for that. Could take the 23-point anchor, too, and make the 10. 2-4. This is going to continue the blitz. It's going to hit again. You know, now that he's got the better board, he's kind of committed. It gets harder to complete the blitz with only 8 in the zone and 3 back now. But definitely don't want to just let our opponent have this 20-point anchor in front of all our structure. Geoff with a beautiful response hitting, too. And a huge advantage in this game now. 5 checkers back. Mark with really problematic structure. Oh, he wants to think about hitting on the 4 instead. Interesting. Okay. I'm just assuming you're hitting the back checkers. And he goes for the preventing the anchor instead. Okay. Interesting option there. What is 2-1 is going to enter 2. And I think we have to send a cube here as Geoff, don't we? Yeah, we're just on the borderline with the gammon threat and the purity, but we're threatening to make the 4. Our opponent has the illegal 3rd checker on the 24 point. Just too many liabilities in this position for Mark. And I think we need to take advantage of that. And wow, he seems a little bit afraid to offer up a backgammon already by hitting and wants to just anchor and solidify the position. I think it seems nice to send one back, but okay, this one's pretty close. Makes a positional play instead. Ace-6. I think establishing, 24 to 23 seems like something here. Maybe he actually needs to come out to the bar, but I like that and just playing 13 to 7 and keeping it pure in this position. Seems like having a second anchor is going to be the key in this game at some point. I don't think we can afford to just play on the offensive side and make the bar point. But look at that. That is actually a little bit better. They're all very close. Okay, we're supposed to pass after most of them too. Like Mark's play. And Geoff is going to miss a cube on this threat. Just like all the playing a back game with the ace point mate is not fun. So our opponent should not want to take in those sorts of scenarios. Could have claimed that game. And instead he's just going to play down quietly and continue. Okay. So we're likely to have a string of those in this game if nothing changes. Okay, now Mark feels the pressure to mobilize his checkers. Yeah, he can play the 6. I like this. Makes a piece of structure, splits and vies for a better back game. The 2-5 could be good. Geoff is going to miss this huge set here and rolls. Definitely a knockout roll. I think now I am actually with him that making the 3-point would be better than hitting. I don't know if the 5th checker back is worth quite as much. I like the play there, and likely to be too good after this sequence. Even if Mark rolls an ace to enter, like this is just way too much. I think we got to play on for a gammon at this point. Will we be streaming in San Antonio, is Justin asking? I'll be there doing commentary. I hope it's streamed. Yeah, for sure. That's going on. And I do, yeah, I don't know. As long as they're recorded and all the rules match BMAB, then you can submit them. I don't see why those are any different. Unless there's some surprise about playing on an electronic board there or something. I don't know. You never know. 6-2. Okay, so he correctly rolls on. Good decision by Geoff. I think he can just play into the 5 here. I don't really see. He can play 2 down, though, too. I thought about this, like something bolder to try to threaten to make the prime. Yeah, but this seems to be focusing on attacking on the 24. But if our opponent enters and makes the 24, then we don't have that option anymore, right? So, yeah, sure. 4 is going to hit to prevent the second anchor, and then 8 to 7. I like this play. Looks very nice. We get a fan. Oh, where are we talking about? They're going to be somewhere else. I don't know. Okay. I missed the conversation. My bad. 6-5. Going to cover, and I think come out from the back. Got to start making progress towards home. I don't think we really need the 8 that much. This is the point that we want to clear eventually. Okay, I'm off on that, though. Interesting. Nice find there. Just in case, I guess it's nice to have. I don't know. 2-1 is going to enter, and Geoff would love to pick up that checker on the 17 with the 3 now to buy himself time to come around. And he does it. Continues on to the 16. Or are they talking about UBC? I don't know what's going on. The stop there and stuff. I missed it in chat. I'll catch up soon. 5 around the bend, 4 out. So Geoff's just trying to make progress towards home. Mark would love to enter with those 2s to start moving checkers around. Needs a board ready for when the contact occurs, but he's in pretty dire position on this game. At least only losing 2 instead of cube having come in time and maybe having to lose 4 instead. So getting a little bit back there. Stuck on the roof, and the longer this dancing goes on, the more backgammons become possible here too. I like this decision to break the 8 now. It seems like the time for that to go at this point. No longer need that as a long point on the way home. And we get another fan, and 4-3 is going to bring 2 checkers in, probably to the 5 point. Or, yeah, I guess the distribution, both from the 9 seems better. I like that. I mean, maybe we want to clear the 6 eventually. I don't know. Actually, yeah, now if I'm thinking about clearing the 6, then I come into the 5. But if I'm thinking about the wedge bear-off shape, then I should come into the 6. But I think it's more about clearing here. So look at this. We could actually just take the checker off the 3 as well. That's an interesting play. Okay, he's just going to play all the way from the rear. Should be fine. Close enough. 6-1 is going to play in. We can play 6-5 with it. Beautiful. Yeah. I think he's found the best idea now. Yeah. Distribution looking nice for bear-off. Things looking grim for Mark. Might have to get lucky to save 3 points on this one. So the 3 in and then the ace. I don't know what is best here. Oh, he plays from the front. Okay, I see. There we go. Not sure what's best there. Double 2s for Mark is a huge roll. Okay. So he gets to make the 5 point, and now he's ready to hop out with 5s and 6s, which will help him save a lot of gammons. Maybe not, but backgammons for sure. 6-3 is just going to take a checker off. Nice shot for Geoff. A big roll for him. 3-2 can't mobilize either back checker. Unfortunate. But he does look reasonably ready to contain a checker should he get a shot. 2 checkers off for Geoff. Things looking good for him. Mark needs to roll over a 3, a 2-1. Okay, so the backgammon risk is going to start to creep in as this happens too. We're almost up to 10% already. Double aces can take 2 checkers off and then prepare to clear the 5, I think. That's my instinct. Yeah. And 6-5, okay, Mark needed that. 2 checkers out of the home board. Way less backgammons from there. 6-3, 5-3 are the shot levers. 3 is a little bit awkward. Should it just peel 4 and go for the gammons and backgammons that way? Or is it safer somehow to strip out those points or like clear the 4 entirely? I'm not sure. This one's tricky for me, but I'd probably be tempted to just rip 4. They all run super close. Okay, as long as we don't leave a shot, we're doing pretty well, it would seem. Oh, 3 off is actually a big blunder here. Okay. It wins a lot more backgammons, though. Maybe it actually looks like that should balance out. 11% less and 11 more, but we win a lot less. Okay, no, it shouldn't. No cube action there. But, okay, nice find for him. Takes 2 off and flattens out to the ace. 3-2. I don't know how to play those positions. We're never in these kinds of spots, I feel like. Okay, 2 gets to enter, 3 around. So, still struggling there. I'm not sure what he could have done better there, but really would have preferred to move a checker off the 23. 3 ace, I think, going to be forced to clear the 4 point. So, a little bit of awkwardness for Geoff, which is slowing him down and giving Mark time to get off that backgammon and prepare for the shot. Maybe save a gammon that way, too. 4-3 looks like a shot. That's going to be forced. And so there's still some wins available here for Mark if he can roll a 3. No such luck. And is it time then with only 7 checkers and board to come off? Yeah, there's no pointing rolls, so this seems called for to just get off the backgammon with 1 at least. And then whatever 2 we like for containment is fine. And likely to get 1 more shot opportunity. Here it is. 4 is going to have to play safe behind and 3 take off. Last chance at an ace, though. And if he misses it, I think he'll just be running off the backgammon. Yep, can't hit it. Okay, he's going to have to be resigning a gammon, it looks like, to Geoff. I don't see a way off of it. I think it's locked up. 1, 2, 3 rolls needed for Mark to get off. And he's not going to get that. I guess a 2-1 might have made it possible. There we go. He sees it. Resigns a gammon. And 2-point win for Geoff in that one to take the lead at 12 away, 13 away. Oh, I see. Justin was asking if Bill and Tara would be in Istanbul. Yeah, they usually have a different streaming setup there, I think. I got it. I figured that was what was up. Yeah, I was curious. I saw there were polls about whether or not electronic matches should count. I mean, it seems like a fine case to say that they're different, so I don't know. Seems easy to err on the side of not including them if they're different scenarios. I don't know. It might be nice to have like different categories someday or something. 'Cause it'd be cool to have like some sort of awarding body for online play too. But of course, we agree that like I don't know, the scenario is quite a bit different from live play. I don't know what to do with that. Something interesting to be solved in the near future, I'm sure. But I'm always glad to see Dimitri post in polls and figuring out what maybe the next step could be with that. Should we tempo hit for lack of options here? I kind of feel like the 4-3 needs to like hit and split after this play. It's going to leave just a ton of fly shots if we don't, and otherwise our opponent's making points. Finds the split instead, not too far off. Two one looks like it can make the bar point. I guess we could hit loose, but the tempo is nice for that builder on the 9 point, but I still think having an asset is just worth a little bit more. But wow, look at that. They're very close. Seen a lot of interesting opening positions like this, just with blots all over the place where it's hard to know what to do. Maybe this has something to do with Geoff's style, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems like they're playing relatively normal openings and like the dice are just getting there. Double sixes, I think, should make the deuce and the ace or just the ace and keep the bar point. Maybe the deuce and the ace is the idea. We hate it when our opponent anchors and we have no outfield presence. So I guess, yeah, I think I like it's just making the ace. Yeah. Not the best double sixes. 4 going to be able to anchor up. The 2 is going to lift the blot. Maybe we should play down and try to build when we're down this much in the race. I don't think we can afford to not have an anchor. This looks like an attacking structure now. So I think we have to come in on the 21. But yeah, clean it up 9-7 a little bit better. Okay. Got to respect all the fly shots, I suppose. Just a few too many, and that's where our opponent's looking to play. The 3-1, I think, is happy to make the 5 point here. If our opponent wants to hop off the anchor against all these checkers in the zone and the 3-point board, go ahead. Oh, we can step up against all this priming structure too, though, huh? Interesting. I was making the prime, or the 5 point for sure. 5-2. Not much to do with this roll. Can we afford to play this safe? Into the 6. What else do we have against the good board, I guess, huh? Wow. Tough game plan for Mark. Down in the race, stack of 6. Has the anchor, but nothing really going his way in this game. And what can 4-2 do? I think it wants to see the light somehow. So we'd probably like to play the 4, 24-20, for lack of better 4s. Then I'm confused about whether or not the 2 should clean up while we're loose, or maybe step up as well. Yeah, this is probably favored play. Makes a lot of sense. 5-2 is another do-nothing roll. I think, can he like hide blots behind this time? No, there's no way to play it safe, so what do we do? I guess the least shots is to clear the 8. But I guess we want the upside of hitting at least somehow. How do we even hit, though? I don't know. I have no, like, once we get into these super stiff positions, I just don't know what to do with them anymore. Maybe the double hit and a ton of blots actually is the best thing we can do with it. Maybe 2 downs okay, and just when our opponent doesn't roll a 6, we're looking pretty good. Maybe this. I don't know. That's a hard one. He seems to have found the best of it, though. Oh, unstacking the 6 is a candidate, too. Okay, that's a play if I looked at it that I might like. I'm not sure I would have arrived at his play, which is the best play, too. And with this board advantage, race advantage, threats all over the place, Geoff needs to pause to think about the cube. Mark does have an anchor, which makes it feel like it's going to be playable. And if he doesn't have, like, enter, he could be against some good structure. But I don't know. I think it seems pretty reasonable to, like, pause and think about it. But yeah, it's really nothing against the anchor. Okay. The impurity, the 7, and the ace together. Not really any big threats in this position quite yet. 3 is going to enter and hit and make a point behind. And this looks like, even though we didn't have a cube, like a market loser. 8s, 10s, aces to hit, gets a fan. And I don't think it could be too good. Maybe we can just cash later, though. Yeah, maybe it's fine to take a roll. I'm not sure I see what, like, gets him back in the game. He's going to go ahead and cash it now because it feels like there's game left and should be an easy pass for Mark. But okay. 1 point earned, on to 11 away, 13 away. We're grinding down through it. Oh, cool. We have BMAP for online PRs. I didn't know that. Oh, we have WBIF to track online PRs. Okay. Yeah, I guess they do have their stats there. I didn't really think of it that way. I'm rarely going to that to see who plays how online, but I think it's pretty reasonable. Maybe it would be a cool if somehow other online tournaments could submit to it someday. But okay, after the 6-4 split, the 5s are blitzing. And on a fan, I think this is a reference double pass. No such luck. 4 is going to enter. Ace is going to hit. A close reference double pass. 5-1. We want to hit. Can we afford? Yeah, I mean, we hit the third checker on the 24, but it's probably worth it to continue the attack. I don't think so. On a fan now with the third checker back, I don't think this is much of a cube, but obviously, typically this is a borderline one with without the checker rewound from the mid to the 24. So it should be a clear no double even at the score. It's getting close, actually. Some score influence bringing it closer, though. Cocked eye, okay. Okay. 6-1. Can't continue the blitz, really. Is it more important to bring a checker into the zone somehow? We don't really want the bar point, I know that. Or is it more important to get the back checkers moving? Maybe splitting both checkers on a fan is actually stronger. So yeah, I kind of like the 6 and the ace from the back, I think. Very interesting. But yeah, 13-7 with it. Okay, that seems like it makes a lot of sense too. All plays run pretty close. I think I would have found marks as well. I like this idea. Just feels good to be spread out at this moment. 5-1 is going to anchor up and neutralize all the blitzing threat. But now Mark gets all these shots at the blot on the 9 point, which is pretty nice. Misses that, but he can make the 18 and cover the 8. Needs that landing point to bring this this anchor game home now. So very nice improvement. Double 4s can make the 5 point or just go all in for a blitz by making the deuce somehow. Oh, it could come out to the 16 and make the 9 as well and play more racing oriented. How stripped does the position look? I guess what's our last, if we make the 5 point, what's our last 4? I don't know. Maybe we can make this and play 2 down. This at least is safe and leaves no shots. Okay, that seems like a reasonable candidate. Nice find. Double 4s. Does not link up with the anchor, but regains the racing lead. And so what's the best way to play that out? Probably, I think we want to keep our 18 link. Maybe we just play 13-9 with 3. Four 2 gets the point on head. Okay, so even though Mark has the bar point, if he fans here, he's under some gammon pressure too. So there'll be interesting cube decisions coming in. The ace, I think, enters deep to not be attacked like that, and we can just play 9-6 with it. But he's going to enter high instead. Okay, I think there's a little bit more gammon and attack risk when we play it this way. So 9-8 with it. Double 3s, for example. Can't really do anything else but point on head, and now on a fan he could be in some big trouble. Oh, he's actually thinking about, oh, he can make the 5 point and hit loose instead. I was just thinking 9-3 for sure with both. But okay, maybe the pure point's better, and he still has a 9 to block it. I like this play. Yeah. And on a fan, ace 6 links up. Okay, huge shot from Mark. Now all that gammon pressure is off, and he's just got a normal bar point holding game. super close race, under a little pressure to mobilize those checkers, which maybe means that it's not an opportune time to play 9-3, even though usually we love that. But what else does he have? Man, it stinks to give up that deuce that our opponent didn't have otherwise, though. Oh, Rain updated the board that I can use if I get a chance on a break. Okay. I'll see if I get an opportunity to do that. Thanks, man. Yeah, I agree with everything Dimitri's saying in the chat about the electronic board stuff, too. I think, like, sampling it somehow would make sense, but yeah, probably also Galaxy not interested in, like, finding a compromise plan or something like that. They just want it to work for the tournament they're doing now. I don't know. 401. Let's see. I think this is going to hit and safety some blot. Which blot is more important to safety? Instantly, it looks like 7-3 for some reason. But maybe actually 13-9 is better and more well distributed for an attack. But oh, he already has the racing lead and doesn't need to leave shots and can just play quiet. Okay, I like this idea. Yeah. Good find by Mark. I wasn't even thinking about it this way. I didn't realize he'd regained the race. Double ace is going to break some contacts for Geoff, whether he likes it or not. I guess he could shuffle checkers and board too. But close decisions there. Twos, so with the racing lead, I think getting 18-16 is actually our first part of it. And then pointing on head 2 pretty strong. So sure, I think I like his play. And let's see what Geoff comes back with. Not enough to fend off the cube, I don't think. Oh, is Mark too good here? No, he's like barely even got a cube here, but he misses the chance there. I'm surprised this is so small, actually. It looks very strong to just come around and be threatening gammons, but I guess I'm underestimating the strength of Geoff's 5-point board for contact. Maybe the fastest path to victory here, by the way, is just coming around and leaving a bunch of 6s from the bar. Not sure it's actually... Oh, yeah, we can only leave... I guess his deuce is any different. I don't know. Same idea. But we're just trying to race here. Playing for contact and making the 2-point, not worth all that much. Double Falcon, I think, is what I would find. I wouldn't think about stacking it on the 7, but I can see. Oh, it leaves pressure on the 11-point for when our opponent enters and wants to play back there. So it has that going for it, too. Now I think, I mean, this just looks like a very strong holding game race and like we might have lost our market here. So small cube miss there. But he's going to roll through it. Okay, and misses the chance to cash this game. Still afraid of cleaning up in the contact or something here, that 5-point board. I'm not sure exactly what he's seeing there. But it looks like a nice strong cube to me. I think Geoff wants to keep maximum contact and stay on the 21. So I would be just shuffling back there. He's passing no matter what. But he's going to hop out to avoid the gammon threat, play a checker in. And now Mark really, I mean, 27 pip lead. This should be, there's nothing left to clear. You should know that you can cash this one with this big of a racing advantage. And the contact just not worth enough when it's just the 3 points in front like this. So here comes the cube. And should be an easy pass for Geoff. Both playing pretty well so far. Definitely playing finals level PRs. Let's it go. And on we go to 11 away, 12 away. Oh, I hope I get a break so I can change to the purple board. Well, I don't even know if I can restart XG and all that stuff in the middle of the stream anyway, though, so I might not get to use it for this. Appreciate the thought, though, Rain. Four 2 is going to make the 4 points. Nice small advantage for Mark to start. Five 3 is going to respond with a point of Geoff's own. Not quite as good a one. And 4-1, I think, should take the opportunity to split. Yeah, 13-9 and 24-23 seems pretty strong. See how Geoff follows up. So the 6-1, now making the bar point is challenged there, so he's going to go for the double hit. Has more of the attacking structure anyway. I like that play. Only 8 in the zone, though, so not too big of a threat. Mark enters 1. See how Geoff follows up on this position. 5-1 gets to cover and probably split with it. And on a fan, this could be interesting for Geoff. 1-6, he does fan, yeah, and this does I mean, our opponent has the 4-point made now, but our blitz seems pretty good. We've got the split against the blot and everything like that too. Okay, we're a ways off. The 4-point is too important. 2-1 can anchor up though. But maybe he just wants to bring checkers in the zone too. Yeah, it's such a conflict now that our opponent has this better board structure. Confusing for sure. Yeah, they're super close. Yeah, this is an option too, to play 13-11 with it. He decides that's the ace he likes though. Nothing else seems particularly productive. All right, so he's going to do a little bit of both. I like that idea. Let's see what happens on another fan. I don't think we've gained enough here, but maybe we're getting close. Yeah, having seen the numbers last time made it seem like it wasn't going to be a cube, but over the board I would be thinking about it here, and I like the idea by Geoff. And I think, you know, it could be challenging for Mark to realize how strong this 4-point is, and it wouldn't be crazy to imagine 9 in the zone threatening to send another checker back, seeming like a pass. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see both players a little bit off on the cube action here, but we'll see if Mark can figure this out and realize that he has just way too many wins with that 4-point made. And should have a lot of opportunities, just anchor too. It's a lot harder. So on our standard double fives blitzes, you know, I mean, usually Geoff would love to be hitting with the 6 on the deuce, but it's a little bit scarier now that our opponent has a 2-point board and we can get caught behind some structure. The threat to hit the blot on the 16 also still allows for 2s to anchor, at which point he's got a totally playable game. So, you know, I don't know. There's nothing too huge that's about to happen on this sequence. So I think we can find the take that way. But definitely not an easy one. And he's going to let it go. Yeah, worried about that. When the gammons seem that high at 30%, it can be easy to overestimate and overfeel that kind of a position. So tough one. I'm sure he'll be frustrated if he sees that in the transcription afterward, but I mean, difficult one to evaluate for sure. And it looks like they're going to take a short break here. So yeah, I will send you over to the ads for a second while they go there, so I can go take a little break myself. But we'll be back with more backgammon action very quickly. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll be back soon from 10 away, 12 away. Hey everybody. We got Geoff creeping up back to the board there. Probably Mark on his way soon after a short break. Yeah, looks like they went and found some coffee downstairs or something like that. But we'll get back at it here. Geoff Hall with a small lead, 10 away to 12 away. And we got that board updated on the XG feed to match the board too. Super exciting. Let's see how this one starts. More sets to begin. 3-1 for Geoff to open. Okay, small advantage there. Again, with this small match lead, not too much in the lines of score adjustments going on. 2-1 is going to split against this. It's a challenge that stripped 8 point. Don't want to be primed. All kinds of reasons for that. Double sixes is a huge start for Geoff. He's going to end up with a better board, 4 prime, and I'm not sure if there's anything that Mark can roll to stay in this game, actually. Twos, if there's anything, maybe that's it. Covers the point, makes another board point, steps up for an advanced anchor. Yeah, I think this is at least close to playable. Oh, look at this. He's actually on the borderline of a double even. Wow, I'm way off on this. I thought this was like clear cube, and I thought that we struggled when we had a weaker board. But the race, not as big as usual. The split is good. Our opponent doesn't always have that. So yeah, Mark has done quite a bit more than the usual sixes references that I'm used to here. But yeah, I would be surprised. It feels like it should be a pretty strong cube for Geoff, even with the match lead. And we are seeing some score effect here, where I think this is probably a little more clear at normal scores or at money. If we add up the adjusted wins of like 14% gammon deficits divided by 2 is 7 for the likely price. You know, we're in that range where it should be a cube for sure. Snap take for Mark. Okay. Thanks on the multitasking compliments. I do my best. And 5-3 is not going to do too much. Doesn't need to go for an attack or anything. Interesting. Yeah, okay. I guess it can just play quiet and depend on the race. And 5-2 for Mark. What can this do? He's decided the 5 is down for sure. Maybe the 2 could step up for another bit at an anchor. That's an interesting idea too. Oh, it should just completely run and try to link up. 13-6 seems to be close down there though. 5-2. This has to leave some sort of shot somewhere. I guess he could give up the 13, but it sure does feel nice to attack on the edge of the prime and just play 6-4 here. Maybe 13-8 with it or something like that, or we could go for a double hit even with 11 in the zone. Seems okay. I don't know. All these seem like fine options. I don't see a lot of duplication. But I'm tempted to make the more aggressive play here, but maybe with the score lead I can find something else. 13-8, 6-4. Okay. This seems to be the best of our attacking options, but yeah, they all do run reasonably close. We can give up either point if we want to. Nice find by Geoff. Brings another checker in the zone, clears a point that we don't need, and it knocks Mark back to his ace point. So he's stuck behind a prime now and in quite a bit of trouble in this game. But he should have close to timing to play a 24-point game if it gets down to that. 4 going to cover and 3 can remove the direct shots on the midpoint. I guess it doesn't... It's not so scary to be on the midpoint, really. Our opponent's not going to be excited to hit us exactly. 5-4 is going to, yeah, I think just clear the 8 to cover. I like that. And we don't want to leave shots and end up with more checkers behind this structure of Geoff's. Looking very strong. Okay, he completes the 6 prime, rolling home very naturally for him. 2-1. I think it's too scary to split. But I guess our opponent doesn't want to break the 6 prime, so maybe it's not so bad. But yeah, I'm inclined to just play in board like he did. 5-4. So this one, I think, well, we have the 6 prime and blots everywhere. Why not just run around? I like this play. Let's solve the 18-point problem now. 10-6 is a little bit better with it for some reason. Okay, fine. 4-1 can hit and make the 5-point. I think we have to try to have a little bit of counterplay here. Certainly we don't want to be hit, and we could end up losing a lot of gammons playing this way. But we could also win the game. There's enough chances that we have to try something. 2's going to enter on the edge and send a checker back, which we don't like. But at least it's behind decent structure now. Mark with some opportunities to enter and cover the bar point or something like this. Can't do that. And so does he want to lift up and not? Yeah, maybe. It's also tempting to just play 11-8 and go all in for the win. And yeah, look how close all these plays are. Very interesting. Chooses the The sane 7-4 option, though. Okay. Double aces can prevent our opponent from advancing just by hitting. Yeah, okay. I like that play. Switching seems like a candidate to look at as well, but this a little bit better to keep the 6 prime. Ace in. What can the 3 do? It either leaves a direct or leaves a ton of indirects. Both are pretty tough. Plays behind. Okay, this seems a little too stiff. Yeah, I don't know. I want to go for something here. I still want to try to make a prime, so I mean, I still like this 11 to 8 option, but okay. All options run close again. Nothing's good. It's a bit of a disaster position, so it's tough to give up too much equity when you're stuck behind a 6 prime with a ton of checkers. 4-1 cannot escape quite yet. So I think it's just playing into the 5. What else do we have? I don't see any reason to give up the 7 and open up our prime. Just being deliberate about the move, making sure he's not missing anything. 2-1 is nice delaying. Oh, it gets to send another checker behind structure, sure, and step up a little bit to get involved. Yeah, what could the deuce do better? This seems like a logical play to me. What did I want him to do? Oh, 13-11 to spread out to make the prime, sure. Sure, 2 enters and misses. That's very nice, and it loses the prime. Wow. So Mark's got a little bit of chances here now. A 6 would have changed the game quite a bit. No such luck. Should this just commit to covering the ace? I don't know. I mean, that's not our way to win by any means, but everything else just looks really loose. Yeah. What do we have? I guess we can attack and close out and escape the prime now too, with a little bit of luck. 5-2 looks like it's going to point on head. I think it's okay to give up the back of the prime to take away that tempo here. 5 out and like 2 in just seems a little bit too loose. But I guess we could hit and come out too, huh? Interesting. Yeah, just keep our opponent not at the edge of the prime. Maybe he's right there. Yeah, those are much better than making the deuce. Okay. Good find, Geoff. Good find, Geoff. We really don't like taking the checker off the edge or the 2 on the 24 are just so nicely primed right now. Little bit of opportunity for Mark, but entering with deuces is going to be pretty strong. Yeah, I think we just send another behind structure here. I like that play quite a bit. 18-12. I'm not sure what his play B is. Does he want to maybe hit off the edge on the something like 8-2 here? Could be a consideration. But it's just, I mean, how could that be better? Is he maybe he's worried about giving up a back game or something like that, but it's so clearly untimed, you know? I don't know. That seems like the only play to me. 4-6 is going to fan. And 3-1. So now I think it's okay to try to hit off the edge. We could also just make the 8 point. Both seem to work fine. Maybe making the 8's a little bit better to make sure we escape those back checkers. I don't know. Interesting. Why does he want to lift that afterward too? Yeah, okay. Small opportunity miss there. Ace-6 is going to enter. And 2-4. Still can't escape the prime. So he's having trouble with the back checkers. I think I want to be on the... Interesting. He plays into the 6. Oh, yeah. He gets a 4 to cover now. I like that idea. Okay. Ace-3 is going to enter and clean up a blot. And now Geoff just dying to roll a 5 or a 6 here. And rolls the 3-2 instead. Okay, not his worst miss. Going to cover the 6 prime at least. And Mark likely to crack on this roll, but he saves it for one roll. That's a super important shot for him to not give up the chance. And maybe Geoff will be the one to crack first after all. 2-1 is going to stubbornly hold. Mark going to need double 6s probably to not crack. 6-5, not quite. All right, 4 pretty huge for Geoff now. Threatening quite a bit. 4-6, no less. Okay, escapes. Well, does he want to escape both now? It's tempting to sit back and hope our opponent enters with an ace and maybe leaves us more shots. Small stuff there. 3-2 is going to fan. 4-1 can, sure, just shuffle checkers around in the back, from the back. looking for safe ways to clear. I don't think he's in a rush to clear the bar point until his checkers are closer to home, to not let his opponent roll sixes and make progress towards home. Mainly just needs to defend against large sets. Nothing too much to worry about for Geoff here. Mark probably happy to stay on the roof and not crack his board further. 6 comes in nicely to the 6 point. I like that. Seems like the idea. And deuce 6 stays out one more time, preserves the 4-point board and only 2 dead checkers. Pretty good stuff for him. 3-1 can clear the bar point now, I think, while our opponent's on the roof. I don't think we're giving up too much. Otherwise, we just stack a checker on the 6 from the 10, or what else can it do, really, you know? So we could leave the ace-6 and do something even like 6-5 with it, but I think this is a little bit better. No reason to leave the joker. Another fan from Mark. I think he was ready to enter with the 1-6 that time. Double twos is going to enter. And what else can it do? Just play all the way to the deuce? I guess it's not going to clear the 5, is it? I don't know. That's some sort of idea. All right, and he's just going to play the 2, but he should have stacked up the 4 and gotten ready to clear the 6 instead by a small margin. Okay. 5-1 looks like it can take a checker off or clear the points. Maybe clearing the point leaves us evenness now. This is a very confusing one. I would have been tempted twice to clear the 5 here, but we really want to clear the 6 first if we get the chance, and our distribution's not too bad yet. We leave the 6, 5, and 6s, but tough to get off those all the time. Now the 5's going to be forced to clear. Okay. Interesting for Mark to roll a 5 and create that extra contact there now, but he can't do it. 6-5 is not going to leave a shot as a result of clearing the 5 there. Just one off and no 5 to play. And 1-4. There we go. So Mark does get to enter on the 20 there and potentially get a double shot on some awkward number from Geoff here. 6-4, no such luck. Just going to clear past, okay. And now Mark looking to make progress out of the home board again. 6-4 can take 2 off the anchor, yep. 6 out for sure, and I guess we could play 20-16, but why not just get another one past the 3 prime, I feel like? I don't know, I think they must be close. 3-1 can just take a checker off from the 4, not any other options really, unless he wants to leave a shot. And double 3s is going to make a lot of progress around the board. Can't move any back checkers though. Could be helpful in reestablishing the 6 point though. I like his decision to spend them all outside there. Maybe going to the 12 is fine too. We don't have any direct covers quite yet. So maybe these checkers are containing better should they get a shot right now. 2-1 gets to clear the back point. And doesn't look too likely to end up with any sort of backgammon here. 6 out, and I think 4 should slot. I think it's more important than making the point, but I don't know for sure, actually. Yeah, very close to just make the 6 and hope for the contact to come. Any 1-up is beautiful for Mark there, for sure. That's what he's rooting for. 5-3 is just going to come around the bend and get ready to cover, I do believe. I don't think he wants to leave the anchor yet. Why not force the shot that he wants on the deuce? Yeah, there we go. Not in any risk of being backgammoned quite yet. 3-1 is going to clear. Nice shot for Geoff. And so now Mark does want to come out there. Even though it's even, you know, getting a shot can be good enough this early. So 6 out and 4 in from the 10, sure. Either way. And hoping for an ace in the next couple rolls. 5-5, no such luck. Okay, so that's not going to be able to wait around on this one. He's going to have to leave to save the backgammon. See if he knows that about this position. I believe so, that it's just running. Sometimes the score can have influence on that for sure. Yep, looks like he knows. And the crossover, and what's the way to maximize to... Sure, I don't know. Almost be pretty close. 6s doesn't even get there yet. Maybe there's some way to get more crossovers. I don't know. Maybe actually coming around to the 10's better somehow. Who knows? 5-1. Okay, that buys Mark a roll to save the gammon. So it's possible now. 6-5 is enough crossovers to threaten it. 6 in, 5 around. This gets double threes, fours. Threes are better. Yeah, probably the best he can do. And 6-4 takes 2 off. And let's see if Mark can cash in on his small chance to save the gammon here. 6-3, not quite enough. Okay. And that's a big 4-point win for Geoff to take a sizable lead in the match now. It's going to put him at 6 away, 12 away. And we have our first clear favorite in the match. Mark going to be able to get a lot more aggressive with the cube. Geoff going to have to be a lot more conservative. And we'll see if Mark can start to grind his way closer into this match here. It was slightly early on the cube, but gets rewarded for getting that in time. Mark correctly taking and losing 4 points anyway. Is the clock not counting down? I think the clock counts down. It does a funny thing with the delay is probably what you're seeing. It looks like as soon as you hit it that it starts running and then adds the delay back to the bank at the end of the turn every time. Yeah, trailing in the match, I love this, making the 2-point, turning towards the aggressive gammonish kind of plays. 5-2, generally doesn't want to split against this. Oh, at the score we do, though. Okay. Yeah, usually we like to play down. It's very close, though, and you actually are more incented to split even at this score. Some counterintuitive things like that at asymmetric scores where you feel gammons with the checker plays. 5-3 can make a point, and without having split, I don't think Mark has too much of a threat, but he's developing the way that he wants to here. 6 is going to be forced out, and then why not just run with the racing lead? It would be nice to make the 8. Oh, it's a little bit better to make the 8 or play 2 down. Interesting. I would have thought to run there too, but the stack of 6 is pretty weak. Okay. 5 is going to be down so that we can play 11 to 10, I think. Lack of options here. Oh, we can just slot. Very interesting. I have trouble finding that one against such a strong board. But we do have an anchor, I guess, so not too scary. 6-2, does it really... Is this the best we can do at this, too? I don't know. I want to find some sort of offense, but... Okay. Just running to try to consolidate on an escaped race. Reasonable idea. 2-5 gets to hit. Blots everywhere. And let's see if Mark can come out of this sequence with some sort of advantage. 5-4. Can enter deep and hit, I think is the best with it. It could also link up with the 16, but we're down in the race now. So I think he's got to go for contact. All right. Inopportune time to fan for Geoff. 5-2 comes in. That's good. He can clean up the blot too. Or he can hit loose to buy the tempo. Is that going to be more important somehow? Doesn't seem like we really want to be involving more blots in a position like this, but he's down in the race, so maybe, yeah, okay. He should just go for it. Can't get too scared of the score and gammons and things like that. We still have to play to win. So he needs to go for the tempo hit, try to establish the board, buy time to pick up all these blots or make the anchor. Ooh, we got all kinds of people in here watching with us. Thanks for joining. Hasn't decided for sure yet, but his instinct is to go for the hit. Makes a good play there. Mark with a lot of volatility on this roll now. Interesting. I wouldn't have thought of the cube decision, but it's reasonable to pause and consider it. And sure enough, there's enough gammons at stake on this next sequence that it's going to be hard for him to get in a cube and a take next time around. And so he needs to send it now on the volatility. And he'll be sad when he misses and it goes poorly and he's losing gammons. But needs at this match score, it's more important to catch the upside and get 4 points back in this match than it is to risk his opponent going to 2 away. Of course, almost no recubes coming either. So just being a small favorite in this position is enough to get it in there. And look at this, well-found cube by Mark. This is impressive stuff. Should be an easy take for Geoff too, but finds one right on the borderline there. Very good stuff. 5-2 seems to have missed everything. We can tempo hit on the ace, I guess. Do we need to do that? Oh, we can make the 8. Okay, okay. It's tempting to hit on the ace, though. Maybe we want to buy time to pick up all these blots. Find something more constructive, though. 6-2. Ooh, this is super interesting, too. So many options on every roll here. We could point on head on the deuce, I think, is not going to be one of the plays. Making the 18 at the score feels very strong. But we can also cover the 4-point and just have a slightly better board. Is that the best defense here? Maybe we do need to make a little bit of an offensive play here. I think I'm inclined to point towards the 4, but it just seems like too many shots to make the bar point. Pointing on the deuce is best, though. Wow, okay. I saw this one much later than the rest of them and just sort of wrote it off as like, why would I go for this in pure play? Very interesting. But I guess it's just a nice tactical buy the tempo, get hit less with blots in the outfield, buy us time to escape from the back or maybe anchor. I like it. Good afternoon, everybody. This is a tricky play. Well found. Feels just like strange theme at the score, too. 4-3, so he doesn't get a fan out of it. I think Mark is going for the attack here. And a whole bunch riding on this next sequence. Again, 3-2 hits back. Beautiful shot for Geoff. Threatening a gammon to get to 2 away now. Scary stuff for Mark to be dealing with here. If he can enter with a 4, he'll neutralize that. But a fan, ooh, an awful time for a fan. 3s and 1s are going to pick up another checker. 4s and 2s hitting loose. Everything's continuing the attack. 6-4 can point on head and board. Very nice shot. 6s hit loose too. I didn't notice that at first. And yeah, this is a ton of gammon pressure for Mark here. Risking going to 2-way, 12-way, where his hopes of winning this match are going to be pretty grim. 6-3. Can this continue the attack? No, but it can hit a checker and probably just bring 13-7 to try to attack on the ace and prevent the anchor there. I'm all in on the attack at this point, I think. But coming around the bend is a little bit better. Okay. And look at this. He can cash the game after this play. I would not even be thinking about the cube action at all. It's just a +1. Okay, I'm not sure what that meant. I thought I saw that in there, depending on... Maybe if he doesn't make the ace point is what it means. But okay, so he has a 5-3 to play now. Can't hit anything. Can't get the back checker moving either. This is a surprisingly awkward roll. I think we can just play 2 down, though. I'm not sure what else we have. Wow, we need to tighten up and play behind now. That's a tricky one to find. I guess it's close. Don't really like any of the options, though, honestly. But no big equity swings at stake here. So it's going to be okay despite a pretty big whiff on the dice here. And now Mark with a big opportunity to enter and at least put a little bit of pressure on Geoff's position. Still winning 30% of games from here. That's pretty surprising. So at normal scores, this would probably be like a reasonable cash for the volatility and everything like that. Threatening gammons, maybe you'd still have to play it on, but at the score, just nothing. We cancel our gammon values so much when we send a 4 cube over to Mark, and that's the main threat of this position, not wins. So he's decided on the 5 down and wants to clean up 11-8 now as well. Okay, seems like the weakest distribution play, but not too far off anyway. 3-2 fans, and hoping for a 4 to hit, 3-1 to close out, something to run. Maybe he needs to run with this 4-5 actually, the way that he's left it. I'm not sure. Okay, he should have hit and play in, but yeah, it's a bummer not to be able to spend the 5 and back afterward. Continues on. Okay, plays 8-3. 1-3 is going to enter 1 checker. Geoff really looking to run from the back or close out the 5-point there. 6, and then I think the 5-4 is very well duplicated. So why not? I want to just leave that builder on the 9 and continue to the 15 here, I do believe. Close though. 9-6 is reasonable to clean up. 2-6, nothing for Mark. All right, gammon pressure very big in this position. Double aces is going to close the 5-point. Beautiful shot for Geoff. And ace-3 or aces will do quite a bit for Mark though. Give him a little bit of counterplay. No such luck. Geoff's just coming around the bend. Getting ready to send checkers into the board. Start bearing off, and if he doesn't leave a shot, the gammon looks pretty locked up in this position. Double sixes is going to speed things along. Distribution not too bad. 6-5 leaves the double shot, but the rear points are ready to clear. Big swing here. 6-5 would be a disaster, of course. Plenty of shot levers. 5-3 is going to clear the 5 before the 6 again, so a little bit of liability there. Could be difficult to bring home with a lack of spares. 5-4 gets to make the 20 point and creating a little extra contact for Mark. So pretty nice roll from the bar there. 5-4, no 5 available, so the 4 will come off rather than leaving a double shot. Wow, don't touch that 6 point checker. That's not the one you want to go. Yeah, there we go. Small difference in those plays. 6-3, I think, is going to play down and prepare for the contact. Mark's still just praying to hit a shot to save the gammon. Maybe he can still turn it around and win, but he's got this Swiss cheese board for now, so it could be difficult. 6-1 must be one of Geoff's worst here. Going to leave a shot for sure, and it also has to stack up 3-2 to avoid leaving more shots. So distribution getting pretty ugly as well. Mark needing a 5 or an ace to go back on the offensive, and he gets it. The ace is the better of the two as well. What can he do with the deuce? I think just continue from the back. Needs to avoid some fly shots from the bar, but has good distribution to close out that 5 point. 13-11 even would have been reasonable to focus on that even further next roll. 5-2 is going to hit from the bar, though. Okay. Good challenge from Geoff. Mark enters, but he can't hit. So I think he's probably just reducing shots with 10-8. Keeps pretty nice contact after that play, too. Oh, he should come out to the 18. Interesting. 10-8 would have been my idea, too. 4-1 is going to hit and continue closer to home. Might as well send more checkers back, try to win a gammon or maybe even a backgammon for the match. 3-1 doesn't fan, but it doesn't return fire. Can advance 20-17 to give the checker a little worse ride home. Let's see if Geoff can hop past and get back on the gammon and backgammon threat. 6-4 is a beauty. Brings that checker right to home, and he's back to bearing off. Survived that parlay. And Mark's position has not really come out any better for the back and forth there. Maybe 4-2 could have come off the back instead. 24-20 seems a little better. 6-1 is going to clear a point. Leaves him odd. 4-1. Yeah, we need to get ready to be able to leave that point when it's time. The ace, I don't think... Yeah, sure. Just get out of the board and try not to lose a backgammon. Seems strong. Double aces. Wow, what a funny shot that is. Gets no checkers off and leaves a shot. And now Mark immediately has a deuce to get right back in this game. And no such luck. Double fives. Can it at least make a board point somewhere? No, it can make the backstop in the 11. That's kind of nice. I think we should do that. And then probably just bring checkers into the zone. So something like 17-7 and 13-8. Looks nice. Did he play... What did he do with this? Comes around to the 9 and then plays 2 around. Okay, I see it. And Geoff must have taken 2 off? Sure. I hope that's right. Double twos is going to slot the point from the 13. No, from somewhere. Oh, from the 9. And then, oh yeah, also leave aces. And so he rolls another 2 checkers off. 6-1 is going to cover and slot the bar, it looks like. Though I guess maybe we need to come out with the 20. Does he have 7 checkers left? Cool, I've got it right. I survived this transcription moment. Got to talking too much and looking at things. 4-2, another 2 off. Mark's still hanging around, hoping for the coup classique. But if it gets down to it, I'm not sure if he should actually stay for it when backgammons lose the match. The trade-off gets a little bit different there. So he's going to have an interesting decision here. It's possible, is he supposed to run already? No, the trade-off's still not there. But with the weak board too, right, with the open 3-point, it's possible that once his opponent gets down to enough to get off in one roll, that he'll do better to just save the backgammon. Okay, not going to get to that decision. Needs an ace to hit and potentially save the gammon, or at least something to get out of the board. 6-4 is going to save the backgammon at least. And he's going to go to 2-away, 12-away. Big deficit now to make up for Mark. That game hurt quite a bit. Both of them played it really well. Just unlucky on the dice. What can you do? And yeah, we can see the last couple games here that equity just skyrocketing for Geoff here. He's well on his way above up to 95% here in the match. And that's gone up very quickly in just the last 2 games. So a huge swing in those two to get that giant advantage in this match. Mark with a small advantage in the match at points, but now it's looking like Geoff's by quite a bit. Mark's going to need to do quite a bit to get back in this one. 6-4, so once again he's going to go for the 2-point. And just going to need, I mean, any sort of split should be enough for a cube at a 2-way type of score here. Well, at 4-way, 2-way anyway. What's he going to do here? Yeah, he's going to play down again. And so I don't think this is enough for the lack of volatility. But, I mean, of course, we don't need too much to send it here. 6-1 gets to make the bar point. Looking pretty nice for Mark. Maybe he'll have some cubes with no pointing in the follow-up. 4-1 might be enough to hold it off, though. Has a little bit of offense for his own. And yeah, close to a 50-50 game. 5-3 going to make another board point. Okay. At some point, he's going to have to deal with those back checkers. So splitting was pretty reasonable there. 5-4. Maybe, yeah, he's down in the race and has this super impure structure. I don't think he wants to split. What else can he do, though? Maybe he's kind of forced to run or something like that for lack of options. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no reason to split the midpoint, too. He's just out of timing and has to try to go for it. There should be some swing on this sequence now, though, so I think he's going to pass up a cube here, yeah. 4-1. I think the best he can do is split himself now, play the 4 down and probably 24-23. Misses a chance to send on that threat, though, at 2-way, or against 2-way. 6-3. Does that... It reaches. It links up. Okay, and now Geoff has an anchor. Mark's super happy to not have sent this cube. And could be coasting home to a chance for a 2-point win if he had it there. So yeah, it's still going to be very hard for Geoff to find a cube, even with like a racing lead, if he gets it. But this is exactly the kind of position he's hoping for. Very low volatility and good chances to just win a point or two to get closer to home. And not big chances of Mark winning a big game. So Mark with the racing lead needs to step up and see the light for sure. And then maybe just 13-9 for another builder looks pretty good. Yeah, sure, he can slot with it too, either way. Decides on the 13-9 instead, okay. Both fine. What does Geoff come up with here? The 6-1. It can play quiet, and against a 4-point board, I think it should. Tempting to hit loose for sure. Maybe the trade-off's right at other scores. The 3 gets to anchor up. Beautiful roll for Mark. And then the 6 is just going to play to the ace or wherever it's fine into the board. And he's got a fairly clear game plan. Very simple one of trying to escape to a winning race. And, you know, capture a point or two in this game. But for now, he still needs to escape with a set or something like this. Could run out of timing. 6-3, not his best shot. I think it's just going to stack up the 3-point here. Maybe now's the opportunity to run, though. I guess he only leaves an ace if he runs 20-11. And it's destructive for his position. Geoff's is definitely threatening to get better. So maybe it is an opportunity. I wouldn't mind to see a run here. Yeah. Look at that. We've got to find something more pure than stacking up the 3. These can be tricky plays to find, but he's got the right instinct there. Maybe a little bit easier to find at this kind of score. This looks ugly, though. It's just going to get so hard to do anything and not, like, leave a shot next time. So he's got good instincts here to find anything else. 13-4, reasonable, too. Okay. But this one leaves a double shot and does not solve your anchor problem, so a little bit weaker. 3-1, I think is probably worth hitting and covering. 2 blots and board, even if our opponent hits us with a fly shot. No, he could hit and lift, too. That's interesting. Hadn't thought of that, but it seems like a huge step in the right direction for Geoff to go after this. And if you get some really lucky fans, he could potentially win a gammon in a position like this for the match. Geoff has a good chance in match. Yeah, that bet's looking okay. Oh, he goes for the hit and lift version. Leave no shots at all. Totally understand that, especially at the score. Could have played for a little bit more, but that's a fine one. And now Mark wants to stay back for contact. Coming out to the outfield could be reasonable too, but okay. Yep. Challenge all those blots sitting around. Wouldn't have done much there. 4-1, I think, can link up and make the 11, even though, yeah, we're still down in the race, so for sure we want to block double sixes and things like that. We're not worried about creating a point that's difficult to clear because we're hoping for contact. 6-2 is going to have to come out 20 to 15, and then does it want to continue or make a 5-point board? 5-point board feels more important here. Both pretty reasonable, though. One 6. Is this going to help Geoff clear in any way? If he hits with the ace, then he's going to be leaving a lot of shots, so I don't see him going for that. I think he's just going to give up the 8-point in a position like this, yeah. And even though he's down in the race, it's just a little bit of damage control. Mark doesn't have the easiest ride home. 6-2 just going to come around. Oh, again, yeah, and close the board. So he's quite ready for any shots. Geoff waiting for a set. 6-5, no such luck. I think this is going to be forced to make the ace now because we just can't leave shots. Getting stripped and at a lot of risk here. 13-2 is a little bit better. I'm surprised by that. It's hard to give up the... I guess, oh, it's only the 5-3. The 6-2 is perfectly blocked. So it gives up a little bit less as part of that. And the 4-4, just 3 shots. 2-1 is going to play into the board. And Mark, not too afraid to have to run off that anchor when it comes to it. Not yet, anyway. Geoff has to check in on the pip count. And I think as long as he counts it right and realizes he's down in the race, he's going to realize he doesn't have any sort of cube here. But yeah, proper point to be thinking about it for sure. Double 3 is going to equalize that. So I think 13-10. And then does he need to keep the blocking structure and make 7-4? I think that's the best to do with it and get ready for his opponent to run off the anchor. 11-8 a little bit better, though. Okay. Not sure exactly why that would be. I would be thinking about being ready for contact. But, of course, we can see if he plays 7-4 with it, that it's going to be a little stiff for next roll. And if his opponent doesn't leave, then he will be risking quite a few shots and things like that. So it can get scary. But it just seems like when I guess we're slightly ahead in the race too. So we can kind of balance both game plans, especially the preferred simple one of racing anyway, by just playing from the rear. So, okay, I see it now that I realize that he's ahead 7 after the roll. And making 7-4 doesn't catch up on the contact quite enough anyway either. But this one's giving him a lot of trouble. He's going to have to think through this. These are going to run close with how close the race is, how important the contact might be, all these things. Hasn't creeped too far past 95% yet, but has reached a new peak for sure in winning chances. Yeah, he likes this 7-4 idea too. Maybe he's looking at 11-8 with it to be a little bit easier to clear and doesn't necessarily have to leave any shots from the midpoint. Okay, this is an interesting idea too. Double 6s, okay. Definitely wishes he kept the 11 points somehow. Mark gonna cruise home and cash this game in most iterations. 6-3 could be enough to think about, but I don't think it's enough to take still. Quite close, but yeah. He can take a little bit deeper at 2-away too, and just think about, because he gets to camp on this cube, never lose a gammon, and when it goes well, he wins the match. So the 2 points worth quite a bit to Geoff to just close this out and give no chances, where 2 points closer isn't that big for Mark. So he needs to take a little bit deeper at 2-away in general. What does XG say the take point is here? So with the dead cube for black, he's taking at 21.15, which is about like money. Maybe it's slightly lower. And he passes to an odd-away score, probably a little bit of effect there that people like to talk about too. All this kind of small and secondary. I stick to like mainly the bigger things in my match play book. I haven't been talking about that much. You guys see the ads on it. I feel like most people know about it already anyway. But it covers a lot of these kind of basics of how to think about the cube at 2-away, 12-away. When there's gammons presence, we adjust a lot. And when there aren't, then it gets a lot more normal. Leader and trailer, both of them really. And Geoff going to let this one go. Okay, 1 point on the board. Small step in the right direction for Mark. Where does that leave him now, match equity-wise? I think, let's see, 11 away, 2 away is what? 6%? Oh, he's jumped all the way up to 6 to 94%. Okay. 6-2, Geoff going to win that opening roll. And it's not worth just running or anything, but it's getting close. Okay. Double threes does tend to point on head here. I think that's still better to bring all the ammunition in zone and not, leave any shots or anything like that. But okay, look at this. It's actually a little bit better at a gammon go-ish type of score where we're trying to get back in the match to make the board point. I wasn't sure about this. Very wise of him to pause and think about it. Seems like he must have run into this before, or maybe he's just kind of figuring it out over the board. I don't know. But very close decision there. Ace-6. Okay, this looks pretty strong already with the slot. I think at this kind of score, we really got to be thinking about chipping it here. Yeah, right on the borderline. I mean, it's an ace point, so he has a lot of time in the game, but hitting and sending a third back is a big threat. We have 10 in the zone, so it's going to be hard to split. So kind of exactly the kind of game you're looking for. Should he just make the 4 point with this roll, or maybe play 2 up with the racing advantage might be better. Yeah. Oh, 5 point a little bit better than 4 point. I wanted the 4 point for the distribution. It looks very strippy and awkward after making the 5, but that's how good the 5 point is. Interesting, and he's going to go for that variety. I like it. In any case, 6-3. Oh, perfect shot for Geoff. Gets to hit and cover, and now advantage Geoff in this game for sure. See if Mark can work his way back into it. Ace-4. 4 is going to enter high and hit with the ace. Beautiful roll for him. 4-3. So at the leading score, maybe anchoring's the more prudent play. I hate doing stuff like that. But it just takes away gammons in both directions. Simplifies the game. We can see it's super close, and it's kind of an option. With 4 checkers back, you're not so afraid of the blitzing option or being attacked. So sending another back is a good way to play defense as well. But yeah, you always have to think about just anchoring up when gammons are basically not going to count for you and be worth quite a bit for your opponent. 4-3 can just make a point behind, I think. Well, it can make an advanced anchor too. Yeah, I was thinking about the 3 at first, but we don't mind leaving some checker in front for sure. 7 to 3 is gonna slot the next point. 5-4. Does Geoff have enough to leave his anchor and hit here? So it's a bit funny to have established it last roll just to give it up now, but I think he's got the right idea anyway. 13-8 with it. Has to leave a shot with the 4 no matter what, so yeah. Oh, look at this. He can go for the tempo. I didn't even see it at first. Okay. 2 out pretty strong as well. Yeah, it seems nice to unstack and prevent a second anchor here now that I see it. Wasn't looking at that part of the board. And he finds that. Cool, okay. They're finding a lot of these sort of like aggressive tactical options. I appreciate that. 5-5 gonna fan. And at 2-away, Geoff is either going to be not good enough or dramatically too good in a position like this pretty much every time. Can't cover the ace, but he can make progress with the back checkers, establish a 17, bring something down 13 to 11. Mark's still looking to hit an ace from the roof. And he gets it. Ace-2 sensor enters both. Okay. Some life in this position. Always scary to be 2 up at 2-way like that. 2-1's going to return fire and send a 5th back now. And maybe we're going to end up with a long, complicated game here. This is looking fun. 4-3 cannot establish a second anchor, but it can enter high and hit loose. Let's just go for it. Why aren't we getting more blots involved? What's a 6 checker back at this point? You know, we got to try. 2-1's going to hit again. Okay. Rates to be a fun one. 3-1 gets to establish a second anchor. Which does he want? The 24 and 21 don't play so well together, so we'd rather make the 22. But if we enter on the 24, it's pretty good, and we get to hit loose. So I think the 3s play better in general. So maybe I'd like to go for that, but I guess the timing's weak. He could be right to just go for the 22 and lock that up here too. Lots of different options here. 21 to 18 seems nice after making the 24 as well. Yeah, both those pretty compelling options. So he's decided to enter high. And then, oh, I didn't even realize that he has an option between the 23 and 22 to make that too. Of course, of course. It seems like we'd want the advanced one here, though, to me. Just like we're lacking timing a little bit. Didn't even think about trying to make a 2-4 in this position. But yeah, when 3 different plays run this close like this, all seem like compelling options. There's a ton of choices that he could go with. Takes a lot to sort of rule out one in and settle on one. So lots of mental power going to have to be allocated to this decision for sure. Okay, ends up making the deeper anchor game. Risks being attacked on the 3 there. 3-1 can make a blocking point now. So for sure, now that he's playing against a back game, he would like to make a prime as well. So the 10 point of high value there. Not worried about clearing or anything like that yet. And look at this. Mark can mobilize 2 checkers to make the 16 point. Not that he's really hoping to hang on to that. Maybe it prevents him from being primed. But really, it's just a nice like outpost. Somewhere to kind of hold the timing bank. This is going to help with the timing too. I think probably our best play with it is just 13 to 3. If we could run the 22 point anywhere, that would be great. But we can't. It's going to stop on the 17 and be blocked by the midpoint. So for that reason, I think I just leave it alone and keep the most. Oh, we should do that though. Interesting. And slotting the 3 along with it is a little bit better. Okay. I'm not finding that. Very close plays. Yep. Look at that. Even wins more gammon. Something score-based about it. Oh, I guess it wins a little more. Okay, never mind. Double 6s. Okay, this is not good for back game timing typically. But I think he can survive it here. He can just make the 4 point. Yeah, this looks beautiful. And the 2-4 maybe doesn't have enough timing for this. The 3-4 would have been doing great. So he's going to be punished a little bit for not taking the more advanced anchor. 5-3 I think is just going to work its way around the board. Does it need to be safe though and like play 6 to 3? I guess our opponent's board is better than us and we don't have much of a prime. But I really am hesitant to waste those pips on the front and risk crunching somewhere should we, later. Finds the best play by a small margin. Okay. Mark happy with the 2 or happy just to wait. 3-5 is going to play a checker into the board, I guess. From the midpoint. I think stripping the midpoint is fine here. Oh, he should come off the anchor because he doesn't have time for the back game. Wow. That's a hard one to think of doing here. It's so rare that we give up that blocking point and just go for some new holding game. But yeah, when we're down under 40 pips, I guess he doesn't have any back game available. And the priming structure not so good, so he could get it eventually if he gets hit on the bar point or something like that. 6-2 I think is just playing pretty quiet into the 6 point. Looks stiff, but why not? Brings our blot home. Avoids dealing with the board for now. And so this theme could come up a couple times here. Usually we want to play pure here. Maybe slotting the 3 and the deuce is better than making the deuce. But it does definitely feel natural to just make it. (5-1) can unstack the 6. A little bit of progress for Geoff. Finding some nice distribution, and something's likely to go for Mark here. Looks like it's going to be the midpoint. I think he's waited long enough and doesn't need to worry about risking giving up that timing bank. So my play is 13-9 and 6-3, just playing as pure as possible. But we hate to give up that timing there. We can run out of it and get stuck behind the structure. But I think we can do this because our opponent's prime is all gappy. It's not like a typical back game where he has a solid 5 prime in front of us or something like this. It's like a gapped 4 prime at best, and only 3 of those points are interacting with the deeper point. Nice find by Mark. And I think, I'm not sure Geoff would take the opportunity to hit, but maybe if it's going to make his ride home easier. Here, whew, this is tough. It just looks like our structures, we could just clear the 10 though. That's probably our best play, right? Just get rid of that blocking point and try to come home. I have trouble making this top play of 6-1, 5-3, just because it looks so stiff, too many points, like we're going to leave shots every time next roll. Just deferring often can be the best choice when we get into dilemmas like this. And yeah, I guess we give up some of our priming potential when we clear this 10 point prematurely before getting the 17 home. But this just feels so flexible that it feels difficult to pass up. That's what stuck out for me too. 5-4 cannot cover the 3 point. Probably wants to keep the midpoint contact if it can, but I don't see a good way to do that. I think that's the thing to go. So I think we're just playing 13-4 here. Oh, look at this. We can seek more contact hopping past here. Oh, that's super interesting. These are really complicated plays and tough ones to find when we just don't have timing for the back game. And we can make some sort of bigger play to try to take a few more wins away. And he's thinking about it. Thinking about if the one to go is, if I have to get rid of one of them, it's probably going to be the 21. Points that out. And he can link up, so he's only going to be leaving indirects in the outfield. And gets to make that 9 point as well. Wow, very nice play. And of course, we're a little bit afraid of being pointed on head on the 4 point, but at least we get shots back on the ace. Lots of ways that this can go. Oh, double fours is a killer, though. Double fours is going to make the point and cover, and then I don't know what the last one is. I guess, well, he could also hit in the outfield, but I think just not leaving shots seems more powerful. And maybe we just clean up. I guess for one roll, that seems pretty nice. Yeah. And then we'll be leaving the 17 point next. Oh, but Mark's able to enter, and he can hop to the 18 to leave only indirects and give a lot of problems to that 17 point to come home safely. So 8s and 10s are going to make it easy on Geoff, but a 4-3, not so. What does he need to do to this? Does he need to volunteer? He can duplicate aces and leave 3s, or he just has to destroy his front position. Yeah, okay. So he's got to wait. Mark's board too strong, especially at this score. 3-1 can make a blocking point out of this now. I think that's probably better than leaving the fly shots. Yeah. And what does Geoff come up with this time? This looks like a shot lever. So is he going to destroy his board and give up the 6 or leave like double shots everywhere? Maybe he just has to give up the 6. Still doing okay after that. Hoping to roll a set and come home safely that way. But positionally, Mark's position is just coming into order here. Really well navigated by him, too. I'm impressed. Oh, and Geoff goes for it here. A little too big. I think he's going to get a cube out of Mark after this play. Yeah, massive on the volatility. And we can see it's not even really stronger on wins and gammons, but just so big swing on this roll. And when he gets away with it, he's giving up a lot of gammons anyway. So perfect opportunity out of 2-away score to get in the cube here. And Geoff's bold play has created that, but Mark seems to be skating past this. He's really thinking about it, but can't pull the trigger. 6-5, does this miss? No, it hits on the 12. I think he's got to go from the anchor. Right? Don't we? Can we really wait and just make the 9? Oh, no. I think maybe he just doesn't see it. I think he is probably very focused on 3s and 1s and 7s hitting. Maybe he didn't know it, but okay, he sees it now. No, okay, so he's just considering that he has a 4-point board and his opponent has a 5-point board, and it could be a little scary. But yeah, it's just our opponent's so close to winning if we don't go for the hit now that we've got to try. It might be his last chance. Small favorite after going for that too, and a sizable underdog if he doesn't. He does give up a ton of gammons with the best play, but the wins more than compensate for it. At any score, really. And so we care even less when we might be cubing and canceling our opponent's gammons anyway. Oh, is he going to make the quiet play? Oh no, misses a big opportunity in 2 ways now on this sequence. Maybe it would have been easier to go for the hit after he sent the cube too. 3-1 is going to link up. Massive improvement for Geoff. Looking strong in this game now. And even could be the kind of game where he could find some sort of cube here. Not a lot of gammons present. Very hard to lose with the deuce point game. I guess the contact getting to keep the 10 is a little bit too strong. 5-3 is either going to have to volunteer. He's going to volunteer again. Okay, instead of giving up the 6, yeah, he's going to go for it. Seems reasonable while he still has structure and it's only the single shot. When it gets away with it, now he should be good to go. 5-2, I think, is going to have to reduce to volunteering aces. Give up the 15 point. But yeah, look at this. He's going to have a pass regardless. And we'll see if Geoff pauses to think about this one, because not a lot of gammons in there. And the threat of winning the game, just it's so worth it to get to Crawford and lock that up. And our opponent can just get into cube scenarios that cancel that too easily anyway. So it's hard to play on too good a little bit too. Let's see what he comes up with here. Is he going to think about it? Okay, not too far off to take a roll. So fine decision there. This is an opportunity to cash though, and now we'll be playing on for the gammon for sure. Not a lot of gammons here though. 5-4 is going to come around to the 6. Should have an easy time saving this. But there's a chance that Geoff could close out the match on this. And double 6s is going to be a big start to that. Things getting a little bit scary now. All the way up to 21% gammons. 22 almost. 3-2. It's going to be forced to play from the front. So Mark has to start wasting pips and board too instead of getting a back checker activated. That's going to increase the gammons a little bit as well. 6-5 takes off. Huge roll for Geoff. It's getting scary. This could be it. Oh no, and a 2-1 is forced to stay back for the wins again. Mark's sweating for his tournament life here. 4-3, going to take 2 off. No shots available. Mark really needed to run with a big number. 6-5 is like a beauty here. 5-2 is running for sure. If he's thinking about breaking his board instead, it's going to be hard to save gammons or win the game that way. But all the way up to a 2-1 dog to lose a gammon in this for the match. Scary stuff. Yeah, I guess when we get near the end that he's like really sweating the decision might be his last chance to think about something here. But this seems like a relatively automatic one. Giving up the, I mean, it doesn't save more gammons or anything to bust our board instead. And I've seen him make these kind of plays all weekend here, so I'm not sure why he's pausing so much here. Oh, this is interesting though. Okay, at DMP it would be better to give up the board. So maybe he does know something about this position that I don't. It wins a little bit more to stay. But his goal should be saving the gammon and staying alive in the match. So he finds the best play. Nice mark. 2-1. Is this going to leave a shot already? Yeah. Wow, what's the best way to do it? Maybe, I mean, we reduce shots by playing both from the 4 or from the 3. I'm not sure which cleans up best. We could take a checker off with it too and leave a couple extra. But yeah, and the checker off, we're in the range where each one off is worth like 10% wins when we're hit anyway. So maybe it could be worth it here to do something like 3-2 off. Yeah. Wins a few more gammons. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. He does actually need to think about that a little bit too. So he gets a full roll closer with only 6 checkers left. Takes a half roll away from his opponent. So it's only a hair more due to the lack of safety. Safest for wins is just to play 4-3, 4-2. But he can do a little bit better at the score and considering gammons by hitting and continuing off. Even when hit, he'll still be a sizable favorite in the game. I don't know about sizable, but a favorite for sure. Okay, he seems to be erring on the side of the DMP play. Understandable. It tends to be a lot of players' tendency, I would say, to like play the simple winning play here, and it's hard to calculate when you need to go for some sort of gammon. He's looking at what if I take this off and play 3 to ace. So yeah, it's just going to be weaker than taking away the roll from our opponent here, and our opponent can stay and repeat that shot, and we're unlikely to clean it up. So if we're going to go for something aggressive, we need to hit as well. Really hitting wins more games either way because they can, well, I guess it doesn't after the 3-2 off because it leaves more shots. but it allows the opponent the opportunity to have to enter with like a 5 or a 6 and break contact entirely too. Sometimes we like to push them forward that way. We're getting into crucial decisions, though, ones that might be the last of the match. So spending a lot of time to get it right, plenty of time in the bank. Double threes fans, wow, okay, so the hit works. There's going to be a lot of gammons in this position for sure. And what does he roll with it? A 5-1? Can take a checker off and clean up. Okay, so 3 rolls away. Mark going to need some big dice here. Unlikely to get a shot. 5s is going to save a lot of it. He can actually play 16-6 perfectly, so that's probably going to be a little bit better after playing 2 out. Yeah. And so should be a big favorite to get off the gammon now. Still chances for Geoff for sure. Double checking that his sets are going to work. Yeah, but of course, how can you do better than perfect pips inside? What has Geoff got as a response? 6-3-2 off, so he's likely going to be threatening to roll any set next roll. What does Mark have? Does he get? He gets there, so everything will take him off. 1 in 6 chance to end in the match here. Can he do it? He's going to make him sweat with a nice long shake, too. They're going to talk about his decision a little bit. Down to a little under 8 on the clock. Either way, going to Crawford, worst case. Okay. Mark's going to save the gammon and have a little bit of life left in this. But it is getting grim at 11 away, 1 away Crawford. Match equity there, not good. Go look at it once. 11 away, 1 away Crawford is less than 3.5%. 3.33%. So Mark has a long way to go in this match. Is he going to take a short break before we come back to it? Yeah, okay. Understandable. Got to get his head right for this, endless run that he's got to go on to get back in the match, right? So we'll take a short break here. We can look at that. Let's bring that, the match progression again. Way above 95% now. No big swings in this match. Maybe early on a little bit between the center, but mostly it's been the Geoff show. And we'll see if this roller coaster ride can come back down now. Giant hill back to 50% for sure. That's a lot of matches to win. But, in backgammon, this kind of stuff happens all the time. And it happens one game at a time. Yeah, what was his peak winning chances here, I wonder? I wonder if I can tell at some point in there what the match equity is. But it looks like he's awful close to 99% with how big of a favorite he was to win the gammon there, too. But Mark's clawed a little bit of it back, doing what he needs to stay in this match. Trying to hang on for those prizes up top, too. Really would rather win that 13.5 than the 6. So, yeah, and of course, I'm sure everyone in the chat is rooting for more backgammon. Unless you have a bet on this. Then maybe you're happy to see it closed out. But we'll be back shortly. I'm going to send you to a short break. Take a short break myself, too. And we'll be back with the conclusion of this match. 11 away, 1 away Crawford. With Geoff Hall threatening to close this out. Over 95% favorite. We'll see if Mark can start clawing back. Thanks, everybody. Back soon. Looks like just a short break that time, and we're going to get right back to it. From 11 away, 1 away. Long road for Mark. But it always happens one game at a time. Let's see what he can do at this position. Playing pretty sharp overall, too. They're playing relatively equal, other than the odd giant pass that he had there. You know, just misevaluated a blitz position. Totally understandable without the 4-point. Probably making the correct decision. Didn't know how to factor that in, it would seem. Oh, Geoff is like far enough in. He's ready to have a beer with the match. Okay, okay. Oh, no, it's a Red Bull. It's a Red Bull. Maybe he's mixing something with it. We'll see. Yeah, long, exhausting tournament weekend. I could definitely imagine both players being quite tired today still. So, Ottaway Crawford's score 2 means that gammons don't really matter for Mark. All they'll earn him is taking away the free drop. So, basically, we're going to play a DMP game. If you can win a backgammon somehow, that would be worth it. Oh, 6s is a big start for Geoff here. Gonna attack the split, point on head. And Mark already behind it for his tournament life. I wonder how low he can be in match-winning chances already. Maybe right back to that 1% that he was at before or something like this. 6 gets to clean up the blot. 5s can break free to safety. I think maybe 18-13 and make the ace to try to reduce the contact zone is called for here. Yeah, of course, just 18 around to the 8 looks pretty nice too. But so it's not really a blitzing play to make the ace. We just want to advance our opponent's back checker and reduce the contact zone. If we can get him to enter high, then great. Mark's going to counter that, of course, by entering on the 23. Can play the 5 down and try to work on his board as soon as possible. And it is getting grim for him fast. 2-1. Can't play safely. So already we have a little bit of a chance here. I can play safely. Okay, I can at least leave only indirects with the blot and board. I like that decision. 6-2 doesn't quite get there. And I think in a game like this, he just can't afford to anchor. He needs to keep the contact zone larger. Usually we'd be worried about saving gammons a little bit that way. But we're just not going to win enough when we do that. So we got to play down and make a board. Let's see if he's got his DMP checker play in order that way. Going to spend some time to think about it. Might be his last chance to spend clock time again. And Geoff just always one step away in this game from blitzing Mark off the board. 4-3 could point on head, or it can just make a point behind. It can. There's no safe play. So I guess given that we have to leave fly shots anyway, I like the idea of 8-4, 7-4. 13-6 reasonable just to leave the indirects as well, or 7-3, 6-3. All candidates. All right, goes for the point on head. Couple of numbers from the roof here. 5-3, 5-6, 3-6, 2-6. 1-6, not one of them a fan. Okay, in big trouble now. And Geoff looking to point on head again to reduce any of the fly shots. 6-4 going to do it. Beautiful shot for him. Okay. Massively in the driver's seat here. Mark needs to get a foot down on the ground. Double 5s will do it. 2 on the ground, and he can make a board point too. Right back in this game with nice contact. But Geoff has improved the position for sure by reducing that contact back on the 23. Double aces is a little bit awkward. At least gets to clean up the blot. And can he clear his midpoint safely and cash in on this 28-pip race? Looking good for him. 6-4 gets to make another board point for Mark. Really wants to make that 5 point soon, though. Double 3s can reduce the contact quite a bit. I think making the 10 point is better than hanging on to the midpoint here, but I'm not 100% certain. Nice play by him. 5-1 is going to be able to play down and slot the 5 point. And Mark's board almost ready. And so we'll see if Geoff has trouble clearing that 10 point. This is a great roll to start. Gets a spare on the 6. I think he wants to play to the 7 as well, even though it leaves a checker outside. But he's going to hesitate about putting a point on, or a checker on a point that he wants to clear anyway. Reasonable to think about for sure. 5-1, I think, is going to play down again, and then I don't know what's best distribution. Just make the bar point. Yeah, sure. We might want that later. Too bad we can't cover the 5. 4-6 is going to clear safely already. Wow, what a huge shot for Mark, or for Geoff. And Mark in big trouble now. Needs some sort of miracle to even get a chance at winning this one. 2 can cover. And then 6 to the ace. Why not? No immediate shot levers. Needs something that'll like clear a hard point. Oh, double 5s is going to clear another point in order. And now almost out of chances here. You're going to need Geoff to have some sort of problems clearing the 6 point, but not looking too likely. Nothing on the immediate next roll. And then he's going to need a 6 ace or 5 ace if it gets down to it, or a 6-5, depending how it shakes out. 5-2. So does he go for the 6 to ace? I mean, it's less shots if he just takes a checker off, so I think I like this. Used to be the idea that we avoid the double jeopardy, but it tends to be a little bit better to just go like this, yeah. Does he actually want to come off here? Sure. This is fine, okay. I guess instead of breaking his board for sure. Needs a 6-5. The double 5s is going to decide it, though. Okay, a little bit of racing chance for Mark. He's going to shake out the dice just to confirm it. But it looks like Geoff is your champ. Making an undefeated run after losing in the first round in the main bracket. So he's going to have 8 unanswered matches to decide this finals, it looks like. Mark's 7-match run is going to come to a close. And he'll take away a little bit better than that 6,000 with the finalist bonus anyway. Both of them, I think, are going to be very happy with their tournament results. Tough break for Mark here, kind of getting run over by the dice in the end. Well played by both. I think the 4 wants to come in and take off the 3. Maybe keeps more checkers on the high points, but okay. 3 and 4 off maybe makes high sets work more. All right, going to need to start rolling 6s here to stay in it. 2-1 is not going to be what he's looking for. 6-2 takes 2 off. And 4-1. He's going to give it up now. Okay, he sees it. And there you go. You have your champion in Geoff Hall. Amazing stuff. Runner-up in Mark Ferrin. Really exciting match and well played. Tough way to lose it out there to end up in an 11-point deficit. You feel like you didn't get like any real shot in the finals there, you know. But I'm sure happy for his opponent too. Well played match. You know, probably be frustrated with that pass that he made there, but doesn't look like that really made the difference in the match or anything like that. But yeah, you've got it. Already talking to the tournament winner in Geoff Hall there. Mark congratulated him on the effort, I'm sure. Oh, now he has like, I'm sure he regrets pouring the Red Bull now that he's done with the match. Why do I need all this like energy and caffeine when I want to just go relax after this finals, you know? But what an amazing tournament. Beautiful view. Congratulations to both of these players. Geoff Hall going to run home with this. We'll show you one more time with the 13.5 up top. I think Mark's actually taking closer to 7,000 pounds home. So nice weekend for them both. Super exciting run too. Such an unlikely thing to be able to win 7 or 8 matches in a row regardless, you know. When we start doing powers of 2, no one's a favorite to do anything like that. Feels super lucky to get away with something like that. Super fun to have this kind of run in a big prize pool kind of tournament. So yeah, excited for both of them. Excited to get to see Mark in San Antonio, I'm sure, and congratulate him on his run. I've been thinking about maybe it'd be fun to do interviews with tournament winners and things like that. Let me know if you'd like me to talk to Geoff Hall after the match, and maybe I can work that in somewhere, schedule an online interview or something like that. That'd be fun. But there you have it. The 6th Gibraltar Championship. Your Masters Grand Final champion is Geoff Hall from the UK. Great play from him here too. Played pretty sharp in the finals. Came with his A game. Exciting stuff. And yeah, couldn't be happier for him. Thanks everyone for tuning in all weekend and watching this too. I'll send you back to the ads for a little bit so you can catch up on, you know, on my channel, my book, all the things that organizers are contributing. See how you can help them out and participate in the future. They're going to get some pictures of the champion here too. Oh, yeah, of the final scoreboard. We got to set that up to 17 too. It's fun to see all the behind the scenes stuff that happens. Maybe I'll stick with this for a little bit longer. His victory lap for the photos and everything. Geoff Hall, y'all. Great battle by Mark too. I'm glad we got to watch an exciting finals in this one. Are they going to make Mark sit for pictures too now? Yeah. I mean, yeah, oh, it looks like Mark won, he's pointing out. Why is it 17 on my side? Maybe they should flip that around. I like it. Yeah, if I was Mark, I would just leave too. Well, I'm not going to take any. What are you talking about? Take pictures after I just had to lose the finals in this match. I'm going to go get a beer. Yeah, it's so much fun to get to see all this stuff too in like the victory lap. I mean, they'll have a nice awards dinner after this. They might have videos from that afterward too. But it's a super fun experience when you get to win a tournament out here too. Lots of celebrating, plenty of time to relax with friends and shake a lot of hands and, you know, get to be the star for a little while. So exciting times for Geoff. I'm sure everyone will be congratulating Mark on his run in the tournament room too. Thanks everyone for tuning in. It's been really enjoyable to have everyone in here in the chat too. Thank you on the commentary. I do my best. I hope I got to do some new things that you guys liked a little bit too, you know, trying to add some of those transitions and some more backstory, looking at the brackets and things like that. Let me know what you guys liked and what you want to see in future tournaments. It was such a pleasure to have the nice board layout from Rain too. Thank you to him for organizing the tournament finals board on the last minute like that. Makes everything a little bit more beautiful. Thanks everyone on site for that's making this possible too. We're always coordinating matches and who's going to play next too. So everyone working hard in the tournament room, I know. Exciting stuff. I can't believe it's over. After 4 days of streaming, y'all. You know? It's been an exciting run. Thanks everyone that's been watching the whole weekend with me, you know? Looks like they got about their photos cleared up. Maybe we'll hang out till they take a trip out of the room too. Let them discuss a little bit further. I can't tell if someone's looking up a position there or not. Or maybe they're looking at the stream to see who the PRs are and things like that too. Everyone wonders about that in the end. It's so funny to imagine people watching the stream in the tournament room, like the people, you know, like whoever the spectators get brought in, that someone can just be sitting on their phone and watching and like potentially listening to commentary while they're watching the match from over there too. It feels like such a funny new world, you know, how everyone participates in the commentary and all that too. Thanks everybody, Terrier and Oliver and Daniel and everyone for joining me. Richard, Mrs. Bubbles, Simon Carter, Sean Jones with the track list and the playlist. Yeah, I'll have to get some personalized music from people too. That would be a lot more fun than using the YouTube audio. All right, I think the action's over in the playroom. I'm going to send you guys over to one last round through the ads to see how you can help everyone out. Join in future Ardor tournaments. Keep in touch with me. And that'll do it for the weekend for Gibraltar. Thanks so much for keeping up, and I'll be back next week in San Antonio with USA UBC. What are they calling it? I'm calling it a satellite, but the US Championship, I think is what they call it. And lots of main event streaming from there. Maybe you'll get to see me play some doubles too. But I'll be back soon. Bye, everybody.
up our shoulders, enveloped. We almost forget to breathe. Stones laying flower beds, you arranged and rearranged them to fit. It's creative fingers green, like the perfect mother I'd ever seen. A creature comforts when we're cold, a cocoon to curling cuddle folds. And when the creases cover up our shoulders,